I thought the Jessie was cooked. 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 I thought the Jessie was cooked.
All right, what's good, guys? Let me turn my face cam on. How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for all the subs. And Ryan's muted.
I thought that Jesse was cooked.
And Ray's not speaking. All right, great.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yes, right. I realized it was muted. Thank you guys all for all the subs and the support. You guys have been incredible. And I am excited for some more content to give you guys, as always. I figure I got Ryan and Ray on. We'll go over our deck list, do some deck profiles for you guys, go over the tournament. So let me open up Match. It'll switch over to that instead of looking over to YouTube page. It'd be so funny if they asked on stage the origin of your team name. I don't think everybody realized what our team name was supposed to be because it probably wouldn't have been allowed if they knew that. And it's not like we're hiding it either.
I thought that Jesse was cooked.
Yeah. I guess I'll turn Spotify back on. Let's put on some anime music, I guess.
I'm sure at least a couple people at Konami knew, right?
Nobody in charge, maybe. Like, surely. Let me switch over.
Was our Shippuden arc.
Yeah,
Is it
we're
download
screwed
data?
next year.
Defeated the
Boruto
infinite
sucks.
Tsukiyomi. But next year we're
data.
Boruto, so.
My face cam is not on. Why is it not on? There we go. Yeah, now we're Boruto, so we're going to suck shit next year.
It's like the same as Snipe Hunter missing on 6. Like, we're screwed now.
They were going to miss. Now it's our turn to be boned. Boruto's 05 drop. Fuck.
Yeah, Boruto's don't show up.
Oh, God. Oh, next generations. Notice tryout dual WCS 2024 rental. Ooh, they get to use our decks? That's crazy. Use my deck, guys. My deck's the most fun.
Yeah, people are gonna use your deck more than you've played yourself.
On my salad deck?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll draw thrust.
God, yeah, that's so crazy. Ray, wanting so much to the sub as well. Appreciate it. My deck was sick. Our deck was really cool. Is the Worlds tab still open? Like, can I still look at all of our decks there, or do I have to? This is gonna be a pain in the ass.
I guess you can go check.
Oh,
wait, did all the stuff come in the gift box, or is that just your stuff?
that should all be
I think
gems.
that's just his stuff.
It's just bullshit. Not gems, like NR garbage.
I want to say we get it after maintenance.
Yeah, let me
Probably,
stream
yeah.
so you guys can see exactly what I'm seeing live. But, like,
I'm just
3
watching
seconds
your
away.
stream with the delay. Yeah, okay, this.
Yeah, tell Ray he's a gooner. Well, he can read the chat himself.
I'm not a gooner.
He's a gooner.
What does that mean?
You don't
Means
want to
he
know what it
goons.
means. Means I
Just
goon.
get our deck lists from MDM.
Oh, nah.
Here, our deck list should be here. There we go.
Oh, nice. That's
All right.
convenient.
Yeah, do you want to talk about the shared cards first? Maxi, call by, Ash. Maxi, Ash, call by.
It's like your stream, so you can take the lead. Just tell Ray and I when you want us to talk.
I mean, you guys can add your input pretty much anytime you want, right? Like, this was a team
Yeah.
thing. I want us all to have our effort. You see, you guys say no way, but there were a lot of teams that did not share call by. Maxi and Ash, I think, were universal.
Maxi and Ash for everyone, yeah.
Yeah, but call by isn't something that's guaranteed. This deck isn't like, or sorry, call by is like not anything creative either, but it's just. So the other like candidates were Gamma, Talents, Imperm. We felt like apart from call by, but we felt call by apart from stopping Maxi, which is the most important card of the format. It also was good as a board breaker, where that's not always true. Like next year, that may not be a thing anymore, but this year specifically, it's good against Phantom and U-Bell. It's good against the Fire King cards and Promethean Princess. It's also good against forcing out Snow. Like it's okay, I guess, versus tier. And then just branded, it's pretty good into like Banishment. And yeah, only Snipe Hunters had third diff card Imperm. That's not true. In top 4, yeah, but not in the whole tournament because we played other teams like that as well. We played shared Gamma. We played against shared Imperm. So the biggest thing is we felt like it was broken going first, but then going second. If it was unplayable going second, we wouldn't have played it probably, but that's not how we felt it was. We felt it did actually help you play through fields. As you can see in one of my games, where I decked the guy out. Like call by was important because it hit the Kieran. So yeah, I mean, this is not like a crazy pick, but yeah, let's go over some of the actual decks. Most boring one first. Good old Fire King Snake Eyes. Ryan, this is your deck. You got anything to say?
I think we all pretty much agreed this was like the most broken deck in the format by far. And the only thing that's like really close to it is Yubel, but it's definitely still a step down. So this was pretty much always going to be in the lineup. I didn't want to force myself to play 40 cards. I know that a lot of the other teams did. I know a lot of the Asian teams definitely did. I'm not sure if Josh did.
think
But
he
I just
did.
wanted to. Sorry?
I think he did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he played 40. And I understand why. But this deck does have a lot of bricks, and I feel like I just couldn't fit everything I wanted to within 40. So this was like the lowest I could go.
We're just still gonna apply the TCG logic. Just because it's national doesn't mean TCG logic is all of a sudden wrong. So I think continuing with the same idea of decreased density of bricks and have a higher ratio of hand traps and engine is more important because we maxed out engine here.
Yeah, 3 Witch and 3 Alchanics was something that's I think a couple other people did it, but it's certainly not standard in this deck. But you just really don't want to brick because this deck this deck goes first, you just want as many ways to beat hand traps as possible. Because I feel like there's this narrative of Fire King Snake Eye being super good into hand traps, but that's not necessarily true, especially in Master Duel where there's only 2 bonfires and 1 Snake Eye Ash. It's actually quite common for this deck to like get Ashnal, Alchanics, and pass, or like Valor on Witch and pass. So I just wanted as many ways to play going first as possible. And then since this deck is so powerful, going second, you also play through stuff with the extenders. So I thought there was just no reason not to play 3 Witch the Alchanics. And the rest of the list is pretty normal. Only 1 Ponyx. Oak is really important for grind games and also some anti-nib combos. Jubabla. I guess we could explain like why we chose the ratios of like tech cards, right? Like 2 talents, 1 nib, 2
Yeah, I was gonna bring that
Valor,
up.
1
Why
draw.
we play these odd ass ratios, and the
Yeah.
reason is not fully cross out either.
It's like I guess do you want to? I don't really mind.
You do it. Yeah, your deck.
Oh sure. Okay, so this deck is pretty weak to evenly against the decks like Granite. It's not an auto loss, but it certainly is like a cause for concern. So Valor is the better hand trap in this deck than Impermanence, which is why the majority of the Valors are here.
I think the
because
other
I'm
reason
also
as well that I felt was under
Pizza.
Maxi, you wanted to draw Valor in this deck, where you didn't need to draw the Imperms and U-Bell because you had Spirit to draw into.
Yeah, it's honestly a lot of reasons that all point to Valor being good in this deck, like heat soul drawing as well, keeping your disruptions hidden, along with like kind of how the Fire King deck just naturally layers interruptions.
I guess we'll just say this. We decided to split up the Imperms and Valors between the 2 core hand trap decks, being Fire King U-Bell. We designated those decks as the 2 decks we wanted to be like this broken 1-card combo with hand trap type deck. And then they were split up. But it's important to note that even though like Ray's deck is not a crossout deck, it has similar ratios of like the Nib and Imperm Valor stuff. For one, it becomes harder to play around when you have like the mix of cards. So we knew we wanted to split stuff up to make it hard for people to kind of make a read against us. And then the next step was figuring out which ratios would go in each spot. So that's why I like those 2 Valors here.
Yeah, there's one Droll because we felt Droll was actually pretty good this format. It can hit Fire King and U-Bell and Tier and Branded. Like it has just high roll potential against pretty much every meta deck to end their turn. And because the Fire King deck had crossout, that was also just a reason for me to want to respect that with this. Pretty sure everything else is standard. The 1 Nibiru
The anime
is something that a lot of teams did. It's extremely good. Just being able to draw into it off of Maxi makes it so your opponents can't confidently OTK you, take the challenge. And it also just having the 1 there in general, along with all the other 1 or 2 of hand traps, makes them respect a lot of cards, which is super important in Master Duel because the world like, format, aside from like the DK stuff, scouting is something that's going to happen. So having a mix of things makes it more unpredictable for people to counterplay your deck. And then I guess the only other thing that's interesting is like 2 talents. Yeah, we just had 1 talent in Jesse's deck.
Second thrust for
best target, also just a good card.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think like it looks like the weird OCG logic of a bunch of 1-ofs, but like it's very different in the 6 deck format because spreading out your staples means people have to play around it constantly. Because if you know talents is only in one deck, then you just never have to play around it in the other matchup. And in a small tournament like 12 people, even without the decklist leaks, you're gonna know what people are playing at least roughly very quickly. So it is important that you are able to keep a lot of ambiguity there, because it makes it really hard for people to play around you. Like, it's not a meme what Josh's old remix is about, is perfect information. Information is huge in Yu-Gi-Oh! And making it as mysterious as possible is huge.
Yeah. There's also like sort of diminishing returns, right? Like you don't want to put every good card into one deck. It like you get a little bit more value splitting them out.
I think it does matter a little bit that specifically we gave you the best deck, partially because the way Master Worlds works is you have to get top 2 in the group, and then if in order to get top 2, the way it works is whoever wins the most rounds gets in. But if the rounds are tied, then whoever won the most, then whatever team won the most games. If that's tied, then it's whoever's team leader had the most wins. So your team leader being a breaker is important, because it can very reasonably come up. Like, it is very likely that groups end in a 2 or 3-way tie for second or first place with X2s. We saw it happen in the other group, not our group. But if like Josh's team did not win 2 more games, it would have been brought to a leader tiebreaker, and Josh's team would have lost. So it is an important like part of the tournament structure that we kind of decided, okay, giving what we conceived or perceived to be the best deck to Ryan. Not that he needs the help to win, but obviously just stacking the odds in our favor.
It was also kind of just convenient because I like Jesse did want to play Tyr and I did want to play Fire King, and yeah, Ray wasn't very happy with Evo, but I guess we can talk about that later.
Ray's a hater.
Yeah, the one other thing I guess for the extra deck of this deck, Heat Soul is not standard, but it should be because that card is super giga busted. Like a lot of the lines where you make Apollo before committing your original or your island get a lot more value if you can go Heat Soul before that. It just applies so much pressure. You're drawing into a bunch of hand traps or tech cards, like maybe even random Kirans. There's just really no reason not to play it. And then Anima is something that came up a lot in testing. I didn't summon it much. I don't think it ever mattered during actual worlds.
I'm the one that actually summoned it to steal a monster.
It came up for Jesse, but for me, Anima was just to potentially break boards like with Apollo or Soul of Rage, force out interruptions, especially because I'm playing Talents. It works very well with those cards. And it can come up in spots where I have to Zealantis something to an arrow and then Anima suck it up if it's something I don't want to destroy. Just a very useful card. And then the cards that I didn't play, that a lot of other Fire King players did, were the Galaxy Lord, which I think is just unnecessary. I think you can play around Nib by just using weak materials instead of XC summoning. And Almirage, I just don't think is necessary. I don't see how it really matters. And Second Princess, which is also just like not something that really comes up. This deck is so good at grinding even without it.
So I think people use it as a way to play around Nib, and I think it's really fake. So their idea of playing around Nib is they'll Princess threaten to revive Arvada and get Nib there, while keeping Flame Merge on field. And what that accomplishes is then afterwards you Flame Merge revive 2, then you get to make Princess and revive something again. The problem is though, think about that. What do you actually do after that? And the thing is, you make Whale and pass. That's not actually good. So it's a fake way of playing around Nib that, like, at least the TCG we talked about in February. And as Fire King stopped mattering in the TCG, we weren't exploring it more, but some Astral players kind of never really went back to that or never really adapted that. It's just that entire method of playing around Nibiru is just not even a good way of playing around Nibiru. It's not the correct way to combo. So that's why like Princess isn't super huge. The reason like you would ever want a second Princess is Kashtira Unicorn, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Kashtira Unicorn also Soul Release, but we kind of figured the Soul Release thing would be negligible. I'm trying to like hopefully switch against decks that would play that anyway. And like for Unicorn, no one's gonna play Pure Cash for Worlds. And like maybe Pure Snake Eye with Kashtira cards was playable. We thought maybe one team would bring that, but it's still absolutely not like something that warrants an extra deck spot if it's just that like one game potentially, and it's still unlikely to come up.
How about Divine Temple or Doolittle Chimera?
Neither of those cards even crossed our minds for a minute. Like I was so surprised.
Yeah, for me, like both those cards have been out of contention for before we even practiced like this deck for Worlds, because the TCG I never liked those cards as well.
I mean, Chimera's kind of just been more in Temple's like cute. I do think Temple's better in the TCG for this deck than Master Duel, because it comes up more in lines where you're like drawing copies of Witch in combination with like a Snake Eye Ash, or like, and both those cards you don't see as often in Master Duel. So
I always think it's unnecessary. It's win more.
yeah, I mean, I could like see more of a debate for it in the TCG, but in Master Duel, it's definitely like less good even then. Not that it's horrible. Like there's a good Temple, especially, is like a good quality card, but we just didn't feel it was necessary for this deck.
Also saw a question for Ray and Ryan. Why no Sky Striker, guys?
Uh,
I
do they want the
You
actual
stole all the
answer?
thrusts.
didn't steal anything. Yeah, the
You
actual
didn't
answer.
activate it.
Yeah, talk about
We
why it's good
also-
and then why we didn't play it.
Okay, so Striker is good with anonymity because it can absolutely destroy Fire King and Yubel with the right hands going second. It just absolutely mauls them. There's nothing they can do. But at Worlds, people know that you have it. They could force you to start, or they could just pass their turn when you make them start and you'll lose. Or you
Yeah,
can
you
just
need to have Linkage OTK pretty much.
or you can just draw bad. Because the deck isn't always like super gas. You can just brick on random striker cards if you don't draw any of the
Or you
power
just draw
spells.
like Soul Release, Talents, Thrust, and just can't play because they don't do anything.
Yeah, that striker is also a deck that's like an extreme knowledge check, where if the opponent knows what they're doing, it gets super, super bad. Especially with playing around cards like Talents, Thrust, and Soul Release. So it just wasn't really that good for Worlds. And like I was playing it on Rated for fun, and I ran into some Worlds competitors, and some of them would misplay against me and let me win, but a couple of them just like wouldn't fall for any of the tricks, and I would just not be able to do anything.
And as Ray said, I stole the Thrust. So what that means is like obviously you have to share the cards. One of the biggest things with my deck was like the deck is not playable without Thrust. It's a huge, huge reason to play the deck. And we tested Striker without Thrust and decided like you cannot play both decks. Thrust was way too important to both of those decks. So we'd have to pick one, and we decided Tier was just a better option.
Yeah, Ray, do you want to say anything?
They just didn't want me to use all my royals. That's just
I don't want to. God, y'all don't understand. Ray hates Yubel. He wouldn't shut up about how much he hates Yubel. And like a
That
week
is so
before,
bad.
like 2 days before deck submission, we had a call and we're like, "All right, Ray, if you fucking hate Yubel that much, I'll stop playing Tier. I'll play Yubel, and you can switch to Sky Striker and Brandon and take the thrusts." And Ray's like, "No, we have the better decks. He'll suck it up and play Yubel," but he was not happy about it.
I mean, it worked out.
It did work out, but I asked Ray on the bus back from the studio, the state where we played, like, do you like Yubel now? And Ray, what's the answer?
No, fuck no.
Fuck no, you heard it here. All right, let's go on to a more interesting deck, Ryan.
Yeah. So I guess like we said,
Oh, did Ryan die?
He muted.
Rip. All right, so sorry. So we wanted to use the same philosophy we used last time with our secondary decks. We have primary decks. What we did is we kind of made like a tier list. These are the best decks of the format. We'll pick 3 of the best decks. So we had as the 4 best decks: Branded, Tier, Striker, not Striker, fuck. You guys have poisoned my mind. Branded, Tier, Yubel, and Fire King. And pick 3 of the best 4 as our main decks. So we picked Tier, Yubel, and Fire King. And then we picked secondary decks to cover the worst matchups of those prior decks. And where those decks stood on the tier list wasn't as important. You wanted to find a specific role the deck needed to fit, and then you find the best deck at doing that job. So one of the things with Fire King we needed to solve was it doesn't have spell interaction. So against spell and traps, it can be kind of awkward. Obviously, the popping is very good against normal trap cards. Evenly matched is an exception because it's not really a trap. So like versus Soul Release, like Sky Striker decks, like that's what Sky Striker was for, right? You were able to rip apart the grave, which is another weakness of Fire King, and spells could almost just go uninteracted with. And that's what like Enemy's Flu deck did, right? It's Shifter plus good spell cards that the Fire King deck cannot deal with. So the Vanquish Soul serves to counter that by a deck that is very good against spells that target, because everything you do just tags out. Shift is not a big deal. In fact, you play it yourself, because against Striker, Shifter is good. And if you go first versus another deck, like if you call the matchup wrong, you can still win the roll or draw Shifter or Maxi and still win the game. And that did happen against Pearly. It is a counter pick deck. That is literally it. The thing is, your secondary deck can't be only focused on one matchup and suck versus everything else, because no matter what, you're going to be making a 50-50 call against what your opponent's playing, right? Because if, say, your opponent has the Sky Striker deck and you want to queue this, but their second deck is Tier, it's risky because Tier is a really bad matchup for this deck. And if your opponent predicts you to play Vanquish Soul to counter their Sky Striker, then they can just queue the Tier deck. And if they get Tier into Vanquish Soul, then obviously it's very rough. So you have to keep that in mind when you're approaching this logic as well, and it can be a bit tricky to find the deck that kind of fits all of these kind of qualities at the same time. And that's where Vanquish Soul had to be. But we decided it was pretty good. And even for stun decks as well, obviously you have like sizable monsters that can clean up normal summons, as well as they can pop, bounce, pop aggro. So you're not like overly like worried. And then we decided to throw a heavy in here just so you have something a little extra to deal with the stun deck / striker stuff. And then you draw a fair bit with this deck as well. Like if you know you're playing a certain matchup, you can draw obviously with these, but then Borger should get you like 2 draws and you can get there. Is Dust Level not worth running in Vanquish Soul? It's something that I kept pushing for, but Ryan and Santoli, who is our biggest coach for this deck and a huge help, he needs to be mentioned, both kind of advocated for against it, and I trusted their judgment a lot more because they're the ones playing the deck and a lot more knowledgeable. The reason why I suggested Dust Devil was because I felt like it'd be fine if you get shifted to make less greedy plays into cards like Imperm or an Ash and such, because the other interactions you need are a lot more built upon combos. And under Shifter, it can be a little harder, even if your deck isn't bad. But if you play versus Pearly under Shifter, like Shifter does hurt them, but you still need something, and that's where like the other Dust Devil, the quick play spell could be better. But they decided it wasn't worth it. It also is obviously very good with stun, but we're not solo building for stun. They decided these two were plenty. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, I'm back.
I'm talking about the book spell, right? Exactly. Yeah. Was there not much intention to switch to Salad from the get-go then? We'll get to that when we get to my decks. We'll go one at a time. As for anything else in this deck to go over, is there any you want to talk about ratios? Maybe talk about extra deck?
Yeah, so
all the big
against the
dudes
decks,
is important, right? Yeah.
yeah, against the decks that this was supposed to be queued against, like Striker and Stun, it's like a pretty slow matchup, and it's also very favored as long as you can start playing, because this deck is kind of notorious for bricking. So that's why we maximized Engine.
Yeah,
like
and you
there's
couldn't play
3.
Prosperity because we wanted to give it to a main deck.
Yeah, 3 Mad Love isn't normal. Neither is 3 Caesar, and 3 Burger could be 2. Like I know Judeo played only 2 of all of those cards, but we just played 3 to make sure I'd be able to play the game as much as possible. And then of course 3 Small World, just absolute like we just wanted to draw playable because those matchup like Striker is such a good matchup as long as I can literally start playing the game. That's also why there's called buys. Even if it's not good against Striker and Stun, it's literally just as if I can start playing, it doesn't matter if I have dead called by, I'll win. So I just don't want to get like ashed on a stake or soul or something when I could have called by to get to my engine.
No, TK, this is a big one. You're not trying to put just good cards into your deck, so Ryan can explain why it's actually not the right role.
Yeah, that card sucks against the decks that I want to play against with this. It's like bad against Striker. It's bad against any like stun variant, and it's also just like good against Fire King to an extent, and also especially against Jubal. But I'm not trying to play those matchups, and I also don't think it actually changes your win rate much. Because against Jubal, even if I have their game, I'm still gonna lose if I go second. I'm not gonna be able to set it and make a board. And if I go first, hopefully I should just be able to win anyway with Engine. Because it's not like Vanquish Soul's Engine is bad against combo. Like it has a Raigeki, multiple field wipes and disruptions and hand traps. So it's not really something that like lets you win that matchup as something that you wouldn't be able to do normally. And against Fire King Snake Eye, their can's not even that good because like they do have a lot of different types in their deck. So there wasn't really a situation where it would be improving my win rate much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those were It's the biggest thing is you don't want to just build a good deck for the sake of being a good deck, right? Being conscious of the surroundings, the format is important, especially for secondary decks when they're not being used as much. That's where it's important, right? Like building with purpose, I think is a huge difference.
I mean, it's like context, right? That's also if you look at the extra deck, it's also pretty apparent. Like I'm playing Blackluster Soldier because against stun decks it's just so broken. Instead of like maybe a Hida or something or a Dark Charmer, because those would be good against more of the meta decks. But I'm not trying to really play those matchups.
Why 2 Chaka 9?
2 Chaka 9 was so I could make a 6 Mad Zeus in case it came up, and it's 2 Chaka 9. That was Jesse's idea because if I don't want to make a 6 Mad Zeus, then I can go like Chaka 9, Borbo Zeus, and then I still have a Chaka 9 and a Dryden left in my extra deck.
And Dryden's a great card in its own right.
Dryden's extremely good in certain matchups, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this extra deck has so much space open, especially considering we couldn't play the generic cards like Phoenix because other decks already have them, and this deck doesn't make those cards often enough that you could ever really realistically realistically justify taking a Phoenix out of a real deck and putting it in this.
Yeah. We never really considered like Unicorn or Iceheart. You kind of just want Fenrir because that card's super broken for attributes and also just as a body. But Unicorn's like not a good attribute, so it's kind of just like a go first only card. It also makes you worse in a maxi when usually this deck should be good into maxi. So like that combined with like adding Birth and Theosis as bricks, it's just all like not really worth it.
Why 2 Jiaolongs?
2 Jiaolong's pretty standard. It's not a starter, but you do like if you open Raz and Jiaolong and you need another fire, Razin can't add itself. And it comes up in grind games or banishing off Desires of Small World, but you never really need 3.
I'm sure I can answer why no Scare Cash. It's just the brick. I don't think that needs much explaining. How often was this played? 3 times, right?
Twice. So I queued it against KG because he had the super heavy FTK deck, and if I go first against that, I should absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I should just destroy him.
Yeah.
And going second, I can draw Shifter. So it gives me better odds than my Fire King deck. And against Purely, his Purely deck had like Trolls and Mourners and Veilers, and like so many cards that I was scared. Like I could even win the roll with Fire King against him, get Max Seed, or just like get hand trapped to death and lose. Or he could just go first against me, draw 4 cards, and I would have no Vikors. So I figured that against Purely as well, my Vanquish Soul matchup would be better. Because if I win the die roll, I should win pretty easily. Especially because so many of his hand traps are dead. And even if I go second, I have the chance to draw like Shifter. I got really lucky because I ended up drawing Max with Ash against him, so he didn't get to play much. But yeah, going second and first, I think for both of his decks, Vanquish Soul is better than Fire King. And I queued it one more time again against a super heavy deck because it's just I have a better chance to draw Shifter.
Yeah.
I lost the roll and just got FTK pretty much.
Yeah, it
but
doesn't matter.
I think it's fine. And then the guy's other deck was Runic Sun, and this deck destroys Runic Sun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Quantel asked what about Durendal and then also why Fenrir in this over tier. So Fenrir I think is fine in tier, but I don't think it's even that broken in that deck. I think it's like obviously good, but there's enough good cards in that deck. I'm not like stressing over it. But in mid-range decks, Fenrir shines really well because it really punishes like makes Maxi almost negligible, lets you break fields better, which sometimes mid-range decks can struggle with. Maybe Ryan can point out. Also, at the attribute stuff, Ryan can probably explain better, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's more just like Fenrir and Vanquish Soul is better than Fenrir in tier. Not that it's bad in tier, but it's just better in this deck. And Durendal's bad because you don't have enough like bodies that you could use for Razin. It's like Madlove, Pantera, and Fenrir. So it's like not a consistent way to Razin. So Small World's better.
Yeah. Small World's a neg 1, but it's worth it. Okay. I don't think there's anything else to talk about in the extra deck, really. Veil's Link was cool because you can't target it. It's good versus like these random decks to target. Because remember, this deck is built to play against decks that are very spell heavy and have those target spells like Widow Anchor, Snatch Steal. Tornado Dragon, same thing for stun. There's no Exciton in here. Maybe you want to talk about that?
Exciton just sucks.
Sure.
It's kind of like, you know how people say that like when your opponent makes Typhon, it's like they're conceding.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
it's
the
not
same
the
thing.
same. No Bistles, by the way. We explained already. Same as Deekaboo. This deck isn't supposed to be played versus graveyard decks.
Yeah, like if I was playing this for like a TCG tournament or like just in a vacuum, sure, I'd probably play Bistils because Magna Switching Caesar is great, and they're fine against Fire King and Yubel. But I'm not trying to play against those decks. I'm trying to play against Runic Sun and Sky Striker, where Bistils are the kind of mediocre. Magnemite is good. It was in the deck at one point, but we ended up giving it to another deck, which we'll talk about later.
Who's bottom left? That's the GOAT Ryan Yu. Top left, who is very not talkative. He's always like this, is Ray. How he's a streamer is a miracle.
The Battle and Boxer rank 4 was just kind of the same reason I played Small World and maxed out on every name. My matchups, if I can cue this into the right matchups, I'm almost guaranteed to win as long as I draw playable because those matchups are like actually just so easy. So I just needed as many ways to engine as possible, right? Like I could draw Fenrir, Pantera, and Madlove. Like all those combinations of cards get you to Dempsey. So no reason not to play it. It also comes up as a way to add Raisin before going into Zeus, because sometimes when you go Zeus, you have to deplete your engine. So Raisin, adding Raisin with Dempsey lets you make sure that's not an issue for the follow-up turn.
Okay. Is Ray in the call? Is he sleeping? He was sleeping, and then we woke him up, and now he's not responding. Did he go back to bed?
Yeah. No, I started drinking water and then now I can't stop coughing, so I've just been muted.
That's rough. I'm also, if you guys can't tell, a little blocked up right now. It's been rough for me going straight pretty much from Cancun to Seattle. I like straight up got exhaustion. I'll talk about that as we go over like the whole tournament experience later. I just want to go over the deck stuff while I'm with Ray and Ryan to celebrate together. Right in the back of your car and got crumbs everywhere, and then you got ants. Are you gonna take that, Ray?
I don't remember that. I do remember the barbecue sauce though.
Jeff's not holding back today. All right. Okay, let's move on to Ray's decks. Ray, your favorite deck. We want to talk about it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Yubel, very nice. I don't know what there's to talk about. This deck is like, I don't think we did anything innovative. We did try the Ibli stuff.
Yeah. So
And
if you
then
guys
I'm
aren't
pretty
familiar,
sure.
there's an Ibli combo that's pretty popular. And we expected more people to be on it, but there's still like I guess 2 or 3 teams that played it. And what it is pretty much you gigantic for Ibli. You make Elf and give them Ibli. Then you make IP. So you have like IP Rage Phantom, Elf and Ibli them. And then if they get rid of the Ibli, you can Elf back the Ibli, and then IP plus Ibli into SP, and then give them back the Ibli. And the SP will still banish. Like if they made a Link 1, for example, which is why I needed 2 Link Reavers, specifically 2.
Yeah, and then when I was testing the Ibli stuff, I just was bricking horrendously. Like I just
You were
couldn't
so
even climb
damn
and
bad.
rated. I like between like driver, the 2 Ubel shitters, what else? Like the unchained cards, that's like 5 bricks already. Any hand trap is unplayable. Chaos summoning beast we added. Um, it was just horrible all around.
If we knew about the Geo Transverser line, would we have ever considered that with Ultimate Nightmare? Because that's pretty cool.
Hell no.
Okay, Ray doesn't like the bricks. That's true.
I mean,
I
it's
don't think
just
you need it.
Yeah.
it's kind of tacky. Like this deck's good at OTK anyway. Right?
Explain Chaos 70
Yeah, like
Beast, Jesse. I don't like that card, but Ray insisted, so Ray can say it.
it's only for if you open like a single gates as like your playable card. So like you go gates, search Dark Beckoning Beast searches Chaos Summoning Beast, and you can at least end on Rage plus Escape. Otherwise it's like not needed because like if you open Dark Beckoning Beast, you can just you can just search the other Dark Beckoning Beast in normal, and you make the same board. But specifically with gates, and because gates is at 3. I did think it was worth playing. Um, I don't think I bricked too much with Chaos Summoning Beast actually, which is like ideal.
Mm.
You want to go over why we chose
Just-
Gamma for this deck?
There's also so for Yubel, there's a lot of like opportunities for you to like threaten Gamma, either with like Lotus effect. You can Gamma and Ash. You can same with like Nightmare Throne and Gates. So all three of those cards present like a good open game state for Gamma, as well as you can just threaten a first action Phantom, which is like something that they also have to consider. So Gamma was like super good in this deck. It also was like really good for breaking boards randomly. I think I did that like once or twice. Um, Activating Gamma on your own turn is very strong. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rest
just
of sorry, the
in
rest of the
case
hand.
like anyone maybe doesn't know, the reason that the Phantom and Gamma thing is so repressive is because if your opponent wants to maxi you, they have to choose to play into Phantom or Gamma. So it's kind of like a no-win situation for them.
Yeah, they're flipping a
I
coin,
know
which is what we want to make
Muckracker.
them do, right? Because it means there are chances for us to get high rolled.
I know Muckracker. I don't think Muckracker is very needed. Um, in my testing, I've wanted Muckracker twice in maybe about like over 100 games. I felt the same way about Cross Sheep to be honest, but Cross Sheep after we put it in like impressed me more.
I think cross
Um,
sheet matters with the one card Lotus play, and then also just OTKing in some lines. I also like that
yeah,
it kind of turned into Elf. The Elf is broken.
yeah, good. Elf bridging into or Cross Sheep bridging into Elf was like actually like um something I noticed that came up a lot more. So I was happy to include that. Elf is just really good. I think Tuyama is also like I think Tuyama is like pretty important. Um, I'm like pretty happy with the extra deck actually.
Yeah. Did you guys consider Super Producer with Shaman access full combo with Gates? I don't know how you're accessing full combo. There's still no Ubel cards in that. There's no Fiendsmith cards in this, so I don't know how that is full combo, but yeah. If the X Seed came as Cross Sheep needed, Cross Sheep is definitely the least important card here. When we were finishing the deck, the flex spots we were figuring out were Phoenix, Cross Sheep. We were deciding like it was between Muckraker, Phoenix, Cross Sheep, Typhon. I think those 4 options. After we decided we weren't doing Ibly.
Trisbana.
What?
Remember Trisbana?
Oh, Chisbana.
Oh my
Yeah, I
god, I
wanted
hate
to
you,
do
Ray.
Chisbana.
Holy shit.
When we were still on Ibly, I wanted to do Chisbana to beat Stun. But
We
it
have to
ended
like
up being fake.
beat him 400 times in a row. The stun to like show him that the Trisbana didn't matter. And the games he'd win is not because of Trisbana. He was. Oh god.
You guys consider Super Producer with Shama? I was never playing more bricks in my deck.
Oh, you have to play Beatrice
Uh,
and Muck and Super Producer. That's so much. No. And that's there's so much extra utility and stuff gone just for a weak combo. Because Muckraker is all like every single part of that is vulnerable to hand traps. Every single part. So that
Phoenix
sounds
come up a lot.
not good.
Phoenix came up a decent amount. I was happy we played it.
Which card?
Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean Phoenix is a
Nightmare
good
Phoenix.
card.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna ever like I think
That's
no
the
one's
li-
gonna really
that's
clown somebody for playing
all
Phoenix.
time.
That card is so cool. I mean it's good. Yeah.
Also, yeah. Also going back to the Terra Incarnate question, it comes up with Throne. So,
What card?
um, Terra Incarnate. Someone
Sure,
said
sure.
something
Yeah.
about that.
Terror Incarnate. Someone say why you play this? Is it just in standard at this
Yeah.
point? Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty standard, but
Okay. Anything else for the Ubel deck? Whether it's Ray has something to say or a question from the chat.
how does Chaos Beast feel in the deck? I mean, so Gates is like broken in this deck because of all the synergies. So like you have to play Gates, but you also have to play the targets that Gates searches in order to even put it on the field. So like the Beckoning Beast stuff is like it's kind of ass because like it's super vulnerable to like Valor Imperm. But Gates is like insane because even if they have Imperm, like you can still play through it with Almirage. So and also just like reviving like Spirit Engrave is just like insane as like an extender. So that's like the reason why you play the B stuff. I prosp for Yubel because Yubel fucking sucks in bricks.
Yeah.
Why 1 Valor 2 Imperm instead of 3 Imperm? We wanted to like spread hand traps around. That was mainly it. Keep in mind it's like a shared card pool, so if you see the ratios, some things might look strange.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like if you go back to the explanation from the Fire King deck, it's the same. All the
By
core
second
good
Yama.
hand traps were split between those two decks. The exception being a single Nibiru in this Ray's second deck, which we'll go over in a second.
Second Yama, I think second Yama is important for grind.
I
Well, it's just
agree.
like it's not necessary, but it's just like very.
I think it's incredibly good.
It's like a luxury to have, and if you can fit it in, why not? What did you banish from Prosperity? Usually it was Phoenix, Cross Sheep, and Elf. If
There's Almirage depending on
my
hand as well a
hand did,
lot.
yeah, Almirage. Yeah, if I didn't need Almirage, then Almirage would be in like.
Because yeah, that card's either the most important card in your deck or the most useless card in your deck, depending on your hand.
Wouldn't Pure Race help for breaking? Yes, but I don't think we had space for it. But Pure Race, I think, going forward, I was pretty impressed with how OCG used Pure Race, so I don't think it's a bad card.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure like all of our decks had enough non-engines that could go second comfortably, but there's definitely an argument to be made that we could increase the card count in this deck a little more and play the Puri Race, maybe throw a Mourner or an Ogre and just balance it out and then give you a little less, like lower the density of bricks. That's always something you could do. Same approach to Fire King.
Ask Ray what happened to his hair. Okay, I'm not balding. My hair, I like, I used the headset as like a headband to like get my bangs out of my face.
What?
That the one match that was like featured.
Wait, what? I want to kind of look at this now. What? Is it just
Also, one thing like about Pure Race, it's not bad. But we also wanted to make our deck counts match when possible. So obviously it wasn't possible for Jesse, and it wasn't really possible for me either, because Vanquishal has to be 40. In fact, it has to be not 40. But for Ray, both of his decks could be in the same ballpark. So we wanted to make sure that they wouldn't be able to tell what he queued.
Yeah, so you'll see that in
But
the
he
next deck in a
prefers 3
second.
spirits over 2. Because Spirit is a pseudo starter. Also, drawing it into Max C when they're taking the challenge is like super important.
Yeah, it's
So you
actually the
wanna
biggest reason
maximize
Yubel's
those.
frustrating to play against because like they can make small boards if you hand trap them, but then if they max you, you just can't do anything because if you try to go for game, you lose to Spirit. Should have brought a Leaf Village headband. We wouldn't have not have been Lord. We should have not. We would have not have been allowed to wear it. So at some point before the hike, or sorry, before the event, I wanted us to go hiking in Mount Rainier, which is like an hour away. We couldn't do that because of scheduling issues with Konami. But if we did that, I would have got us like Naruto headbands for like and do like a bit of a training montage for a couple minutes of a video on the mountain. Oh, that would have been funny. Like, but obviously, like we just were never at the mountain, so I never got to do that. I never told these guys either, so I'm sure they had no idea.
I did not know.
Yeah.
How did it feel to get Shiko Noko Noko'd on?
What does that mean? Because that's your name in our chat, right?
No, that's my alt's name that I changed it to. But like that's like the name of like the dance that Maguro was doing on me while he was like destroying me with Maxi. So
Dude, he's so funny.
Yeah, okay. It's from a hentai. What?
No, it's not.
it's just from like a stupid deer anime.
It's just stupid, but it's not.
Maguro's the goat. And my dad was so mad at him for that. I was like, dude, you have to chill. Because my dad's obviously like trying to support us. And he's like, I hate the little twerp. Why is he being so arrogant? I'm like, dude, he was just
No,
like,
I fucked with it.
we
That was
didn't even
really
see him. It was like dancing in our face or anything. It's fine. Like, let him be. And I had to like calm him down.
No, it was he's just like memeing. Like he's literally just brain rotted, I think.
It's just brain rotted. Yeah. Day one, we were fixed stations. Yeah, we were also the same stations for round one of day two. So only the finals was different. So
it's crazy that everyone from the final row of like the setup made day two.
Yes, the way it was set up is I'm sure some of the content creators have some photos and stuff because now they were walking around a bit. But there was like 4 rows of
It was
like
a 4x4
curtains
grid
pulled up, and
of
then
the
each curtain had
teams.
like 4 different pods. There were 6. There were 12. Oh, there was three rows. My bad. So 12 teams. And
three
our
rows.
row, the back row, was the 3 Duels Cup winners, and then the World's winner from last year. And those were the 4 teams that qualified. So all the first 2, we were the back row. The first 2 rows all bombed out. It was pretty funny. Obviously, that's not the real story because it was close. Like at least for our team and Josh's team, like we were there on breakers. Or no, we weren't there on breakers, but it was not like we were leagues ahead of
I mean,
opponents.
there were a lot of teams that could have won very easily this weekend.
Some Naruto banger right now. Yeah. Okay. Second deck for Ray. The deck Ray prefers.
It's probably the best second deck of our lineup.
Well, Pearly was like pretty highly rated on a tier list. It was like probably the 5th best deck, maybe, or around that. Because like it can very much hold its own without needing it to be a good matchup. You can't hear the music? I don't think I muted it.
All-time opening Duster Cosmic.
That's just
Insane.
not working. Nice. Fix OBS. God, I hate OBS is giving me so many problems today. Oh my god, yeah, this wasn't working the entire time.
White Clips, it covers like Fossil Dyna, it covers Centurion Syncering. You can just use it as a board breaker. Very
Yeah, I mean,
versatile.
we should probably say what matchups this was for, yeah.
Yeah, so the Purely deck was built for Runic Stun, any like other
Waiting
back
deck,
row
let's
decks
go.
like Lab, and the Centurion were like the main focuses. We threw like so like you can see all these cards, like all the non-engine like Duster, Lightning Storm, Cosmic, Reboots, Eclipse, like covers that spread very well. And the remaining non-engine that we have is like Maxi Ash, obviously, and 1 Nib, just in case like we queued it into a real deck still. We wanted something real to draw off of Maxi. And if you go first, you can like still set up a Noir, ideally 5 mats, and that's still like very tough for a lot of decks to deal with, even like Fire King. So um we felt this deck was like honestly probably had the most like flexibility in terms of deck building while still being like a very like real deck.
Yeah, we felt like Ray could take more risks with this deck, or like wouldn't be as risky. Like he could play this into a deck or into other decks expecting a good matchup more comfortably. Because with our second decks, if we got the matchup wrong and guessed it wrong, what our opponent would play, it could be more devastating or more punishing on us because our decks would just be way worse than they should be. Where Ray wouldn't have as much of a problem because the difference between Yubel and Pearly is not like crazy.
This deck is just so ignorant. Like, even if you draw a dead non-engine, like, I saw Ray pitch a ton of red reboots or lightning storms for Pearly spells. It just doesn't matter.
Did you even get to use Red Reboot all weekend?
I mean, he
didn't
would have
use
used it against Emery, but then he went Feather Duster.
You do Duster for turn. You're
Yeah.
so crazy. I remember looking at your hand thinking, all right, we got this. This hand is great. And you do Duster, and I kind of just like, my jaw dropped. I'm like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, I mean, this deck was like, I don't know if Ray mentioned Centurion, but like, the 2 decks that like this was supposed to destroy were Stun and Centurion. Like, those 2 specifically. It turned out that a lot of teams brought Labyrinth to Worlds to beat Yubel, so it was kind of a happy accident for us that this ended up having a great lab matchup too. But really, it was just like, you can tell by the non-engine. We picked Eclipse because it's good against the Centurion monsters and good against like a Fossil Diner or a Majesty's Fiend. Cosmic is good against Floods or Centurion cards. Reboot's good against all, like, pretty much every non-engine card is supposed to be good in both matchups. And then there's the 1 Nib, like Ray said, just in case we miscue it.
Yeah.
The plan after Eclipse is that or just set up like huge ass Noir.
Did we talk about the one that beer already?
Yeah, Ray did, I think.
Ray did?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else to talk about this deck.
Just
Pearly's
to draw off
pretty
Maxi.
solved, right?
Yeah, I mean, this deck builds itself, but I think it was good.
Any other thoughts to close it out, Ray?
Cosmic Cyclone is the GOAT.
Cosmic
that's good.
Cyclone. We gotta get Yubel themed stuff for Ray now. We gotta sell him on loving Yubel. Yubel is the reason you're a world champion.
I'm gonna
bro.
royal out some Pureleys.
So how
I think I saw
annoying.
someone ask. We're not blending second with this. We just have a bunch of go second cards because if we go first, we can pitch them.
Yeah, I mean, only go second cards are these 4, right? And the reboots, so you have 6.
Lightning strip too, right?
1, yeah, 4, 6.
Yeah.
The Eclipse and Cosmic are fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Was there no cut for 40? You can slim it down to 40. Probably cut the nib if you really wanted to, but like we wanted it to match the U-Bell count, so we just threw that in there.
Wasn't lab a
Uh,
possibility for you guys? Yeah, Ryan, why no lab?
Never. Lab
Uh,
sucks.
Yeah.
That deck just isn't good.
The deck is just not that good, unfortunately. It's not like it was solving any problems for us. Like the one matchup I guess that it had that is good is Yubel, and people were playing it for Yubel, like Josh was. The issue is if you queue it into the wrong deck, like Lab into Purely, for example, oh, you're fucked. Because the deck has to be
Not
built
even
to
just
Yubel.
like purely like Lab cannot be Fire King for its life, right? It
I
also
think
can't be Tier for its
Lab into
life.
Tier or Fire King is way worse than into Purely, without even having the right non-engine. Those
Purely
matchups are
fast for the
so uphill.
grind. Not really for the grind, but more so for like revealing off of like my friend in the random scenario that it does happen, because it did happen once in testing. So I think someone asked, did you notice the Centurion Synchro made your OTK easier after the match? Okay, so
We
like
did. We talked about it like literally as it was
yeah,
happening. Like, oh, we could have just done that. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was only 400 damage, but like it wasn't needed because you still OTK'd without it. So the one thing I did on afterthought was normal summoning the Purely was a mistake because it turned on a Bestial after he got
Oh,
Valor.
you know what else was
That
a
was
mistake? You should have used the Street before activating My Friend.
Yeah. Because if you
It's because if he has
overdo
Ogre
and you
plus Valor.
can't, you want to be safe from Valor.
Because if he ogres the My Friend, you're gonna chain Happy Memory.
yeah, true.
Does this tick your bucket list of wanting to Worlds? Or you just wanted the TCG? This is the bucket list for sure. I would not have fought so hard for this if it wasn't so high up there for me. Yeah. All right. This is the Pearly deck. Going to my deck last, which I think is the coolest deck. But yeah,
I think everyone would agree that you had the coolest deck in games from Worlds.
it's bricked immediately.
Oh my god, I didn't realize how many royals you had.
Bro, I crafted 3 Royal Destrudos. Look at this. It's so crazy. This was I crafted 3 Destrudos to try to get a Royal for this deck, and I pulled 3 Royals. And I was so mad I wasn't streaming. I was so mad. Because it was fucking crazy. I only play 1 Destrudo, so obviously I don't get to use all 3. I got 2 of each of these as well, Royal, right? Or just 2 Jets. So the reason with this deck, I feel like Grass and Thrust, or sorry, Grass in general is just like, that card means you can beat like almost any deck going second, no matter what. Because you just mill a bunch of cards and you go ham. And we already talked about how Fire King has been a weakness to spell cards because it just can't negate spells. Guess what? Guess what's a spell? This card. And Yubel has the same problem. It can't interact with spells. So the 2 decks that would have a bad matchup for tier because they put up a bunch of monster negates are weak to spells like Grass. So we hyper-focused on Grass, giving us the 7 copies here, which I never drew Thrust the entire tournament except for literally the final game where I bricked on it because I went first and drew multiple Thrusts. Terrascopium? Yeah, that's right. That's why I won Worlds. How many times I actually rolled Grass? A few times. And then the other thing is, when you're building Grass deck, you want to fill out Graveyard effects. So I went for a lot of traps because, yeah, people put in a bunch of random effects. It should all be Street Clown to give your mills better. But the idea behind that is it means if you mill multiples these, they're not dead. But that only matters if you're already milling a ton of cards. If you're milling a ton of cards, you don't care. You're already winning the game. You're already super far ahead. So like, I felt it's more important that the cards I milled were really powerful, which these are. And if I mill more and they're dead this turn, that's not a big deal. And drawing them is also good when you play Horus cards. So I filled up the broken graveyard effects and the ways to put them in the grave, which is why I maxed out fully the Horus engine to put these in the grave. Because you could see several games I broke through fields, no non-engine, just because I had Horus cards plus the traps. And like, That's fantastic. And then I see people saying, oh, he never bricked when I went second. I'm like, people complain about these being bricks all the time. I built my deck to not be like that. And you may ask why no crime, no heartbeat. The other reason is this deck should be built in a way where every single card in your deck is either a good mill, a good draw, or both. If something is none of those, then it needs to be very important. So Emerald Tortoise is like the exception there. Emerald Tortoise is the only card that is none of the above, because you need it. It's just not negotiable. Every other card is good to draw or mill. So crime and heartbeat, for example, just suck drawing or milling. So I don't really want to, like, yeah, you can search them, but you never need it. And you can make such powerful fields that it's fine. You can get even leads, not a big deal. You play with snows in your grave, it's all right. Tortoise is a broken mill. It is a fine mill. It's not good. Other notable things with this deck is no Fenrir because it's in Vanquish Soul deck. You'd probably play it though with the field spell. Dark Ruler was just a searchable thrust target to be the Jaugen lock. If they had nothing else besides it. One talent because 2 were in the other decks. Sea Mare's gonna be another normal summon, another Aqua in deck as well. It's important you play 3 specifically because a common way for you to play through fields is to put 3 of these up. Or not play through fields, play through hand traps going first. Turn the 2 non-dark ones into the zombie vampire, mill 4. Either you whiff off this or it gets negated. You then need to summon any third dark to turn this plus this into Curious. So that's where these come into play. These can both convert into darks, whether it be Anima for Jed and Dotscaper or Lingering Rainbow for just Dot. And just Dot is obviously 2 by itself. These could also be milled or discarded and still accomplish that goal, which is why it was important. This is also to the discard outlet, so if I do multiple discards that I want to put in the grave, this could unclog me. So that's why these were just very importantly one of them in the deck. And they still did give me good mills where I had a variety of cards I could summon, and both cards performed very well. Dotscaper honestly was really good. Dotscaper was not a card that was originally in my deck. However, we talked with the Ibly thing about getting Ibly comboed. The biggest problem with this deck is getting floodgated out. And that's why my second deck is built the way it is. And then also, like, while the Yubel matchup I felt was fine, it kind of got dicey when people started playing Ibly, because if I get Ibly locks, I need Droplet or I lose. And even just Droplet wasn't enough sometimes. So the double Langriba meant they could never Ibly lock me. Yes, I figured people would know I play Lingriba after a certain amount of rounds, even if there wasn't a leak, but with the leak, obviously they knew about it. And I never would get Ibly locked, so I would never get to summon both. But just them knowing I have it meant they couldn't Ibly lock me, which is more important, because it meant that I could draw my combo cards and just destroy them. That being said, people also just didn't queue Yubel into me that often. They must have not felt it was a good matchup, but they were scared. Because, yeah, if I draw grass, they're just dead. Like, they very much lose. And that's not to say that even auto win if I don't draw grass, because my engine can crack through stuff. Call by and Droplet are both very good into the board. And then Horus cards, the traps can still just do their thing. No Nut Shift Fusion is an interesting thing to talk about. I have not been playing those for a while. Mudragon is the only one that's kind of playable. Garura is unplayable. What the fuck are you fusing Garura for? You like no Aquas. Mudragon is only for rank 4s, but like because you only have 2 fusions, I can never see myself not fusion summoning these on the first turn. After the first turn, these aren't as important. This deck wants to get to Snow, and then once you have Snow, you're a Link and an XYZ deck. And these cards are neat as a supporting cast, but these are fucking broken. Your Links and your shit, and your XYZs. Baron's obviously great as well because there's several different ways to get tuners into play with Jet Synchron, Destrudo. Zombie Vampire is good for milling their deck. I think I made Baron after Zombie Vampire milling their tuner twice. I stole an Ash and I stole a Gamma, and then made Baron, and that was very, very cool. But the suite of like broken extra deck cards that are ban worthy, like in the TCG, this is banned. And then this is banned, and this is banned. So 4 banned extra deck cards. I mean, this is the broken extra deck dot deck. Why 2 Lingering was not 1? In the combo, they summoned 2 Iblies, so you need 2, or it may as well be 0. I come in and pull up with a Jamba. I may as well have. No Predaplant, no space. So the cards you'd play over the Lingeribos, if you're playing this in a general format, it's not actually more fusions, because the fusions don't come up. Stapelia never comes up. You can always put back stuff with the shufflers. Otherwise, you never need to shuffle back for Stapelia. And the card you'd play, IP, is a good one because it makes ending on S. Like, obviously, it's better than ending on SP because you just make it SP. There were a couple times it ended on SP, and if it was IP, it would have just been strictly better, but I didn't have the space. Anaconda is another one that's all right to make Curious easier. However, without the Snake Eye cards, it's not as important because you don't always need to do that. You could also play Zeus Shooting Riser Dragon, and Deep Sea Prima Donna. Those are all very reasonable cards you can play. Also, if you're not playing Lingaribo or Dotscaper, this should be Linkaribo. However, because I had Lingaribo in the deck, I needed to have different typings. Obviously, if I have Dotscaper, these both can't be Cybers. Otherwise, it doesn't contribute to Curious pretty well. What's level 9 for Barone? Yeah, it's a Collide of Heart. So I did this one time where you Collide of Heart for Baron. The other thing you can do is, I was going to do this, but I found an easier line. Is Dot, like you Snow Banish Dot on the follow-up, then Jet discard, and then you have 1+1, and then either 2 4s or Horus Monster make Baron. So, like, and Baron is so broken that it's worth the huge commitment oftentimes. Like, the card has rightfully deserved itself a spot on the ban list. The TCG. Would I play the Snake Eye in the general setting? I'd probably make this work with Snake Eyes. I'd slim the Horus cards down. One of the biggest problems with this card is, as broken as it is drawing this plus this is rough. They don't always ash this. Sometimes they ash this because they don't want to let me put a card in the grave, which makes sense. But if they let me resolve to get this, I discarded this and I don't have a good discard, then I get ashed, I can't use this anymore because I only have one other card in hand, and that is a problem. Drawing this and this together is perfect because this baits the ash, and even if it discards nothing relevant, left arm grass should be game. But yeah. Also, another reason for no crime and heartbeat is you can't set cards when you use these, so these cards don't do anything when you left arm for grass specifically. If Black Goat Laughs was legal, it'd be awesome for this deck for that reason. It'll give you more interrupts. You can mill under left arm to bolster your field. Only were twice I had to left arm for grass, and my field was kind of weaker than it needed to be, or should have been, because I couldn't set. I still won those games. It just becomes closer than you would have liked. DC Cup decklist wouldn't look that much different though. Like, you could put in maybe Kashtira cards, talents, more copies of that, and maybe Snake Eye cards, but it wouldn't look too different. I think the grass being like the biggest key card here, unfortunately may cut this package. You could probably cut like one of the Trivikarmas. I'm not sure exactly. That's something we could maybe mess around with over the next few days and stream, but obviously that's not the setting we're focused in. So then for my second deck, we need to decide what was my weakest matchup. And this deck that goes first can win almost anything, anytime, as long as I don't get shifted. And even if I get shifted, as long as I live, then I still win the game. So we decided that the biggest problem with this deck is going second versus Floodgates. Like, you could beat most decks that go second against if they put up negates only or just boards, depending on the quality of your hand. And that's why we played this deck. Like, I queued it to Fire King still, and I won several times. But versus decks that flooded you out, it was a problem. So the two decks we saw flooding us out that we could prepare for was Voiceless. So Voiceless is the deck that this deck should have a good matchup against. However, what Voiceless players started doing in the last little bit in Mashable as the attack is they can play Anaconda to send Jowgen plus Albaz, and then they can summon Jowgen. And because of the continuous spells, you can't attack or do anything. So that's where you need Dark Ruler or Droplet, or you just lose. And we kind of just not, like, I can't do anything about that. So what would have otherwise been a good matchup becomes hard. And that's why if I knew that wasn't in their deck, I would stay on tier against Voiceless. But against the Jowgen Voiceless deck, I had to switch. Same for Branded. If Branded didn't have a Floodgate in it, like if it didn't play, like Puppet's banned, but if they played DD Orthros, or if they played Jowgen for the same reason, or one of the American teams played DD Requiem, like, those flooded me out. I need to draw really good to beat those. So instead of risking that, I would rather just switch a deck that beats it. So those were the two decks I was worried about. I wanted outs to those FTKs. So the idea was we had all the graveyard hate cards still available to us. Bestials, Bells, Crows. Because my secondary deck was arguably the least important. And then that's why we built the deck like this. So this deck has a good matchup versus Branded specifically already, because going first, you can search Ash Blossom and Roar every time. And then Ash plus a counter trap plus Princess and follow-up should demolish your Branded. So that was pretty comfortable. And then on top of that, it gets the cards like Dark Ruler, Droplet, Book of Eclipse, which were typical. Branded cards kind of just don't do anything against this deck when they go second. And then you also just have Bells, Crows, and Bestials and Callbys, which are all just really good at ripping apart their grave. And versus Voiceless as well, Foxy can destroy the back row. And your non-engine is so well built to deal with those cards that's what we're going for. I played this deck once and I got FTK'd. We played this versus the FTK. It wasn't intended, but because my other deck had no hand traps, if I went first with this deck, I would have been fine, because the combo is like, it's not nearly as good as tier, but you set up a negate, a Princess, and an Ash at the very least, and that's like still fine versus an FTK deck. And then this deck has hand traps, so I felt like it would have been good. However, I drew no hand traps when I played this deck. Round 1, we played against the other European team, and Eric was playing Voiceless and Branded. I played him in the second round. He played Ryan round 1 and used Imperm and then lost. So we did not know what he was playing. So if we knew he was playing Voiceless and Branded, those two decks specifically, I would have played Salad. However, we did not know what he was playing, so we played Tier. And then round 2, we didn't know about the leaks yet, or the team we played against hadn't been leaked. We didn't know what they were playing. If I knew the guy I played round 1 of round 2 was playing Branded, I would have played this. However, I queued up Tier and he's playing Branded and it was annoying. But obviously, you can't always have perfect information. And ironically, that meant that I only played this deck one time. I got FTK'd. But if we had known the matchups like from the start, then we would have played this deck 3 times. It is very funny though, because last year my second deck was also a Cybers deck. It was Marincess, and I played it 0 times total. This time I did play my deck once, my Cybers deck, and I got FTK'd. My hand was so good when I won the roll. It was Terratop, Gazelle, Mining, Double Circle. Or no, it was Double Terratop, 1 Circle. But like it was, oh god, it was so good. That was so tilting. I mean, it was fine. I just focused on the other games. What would you recommend cutting if you want to make this cheaper? This deck? This deck is a structure deck. This deck's not expensive at all. Don't play the hand traps. Play generic hand traps. I'm pretty sure I have a generic version built with Valor Imperm instead of these, but you can cut these as well. They're not super important for rated. The salad deck stays the same, except for one thing. For one, this was kind of rough. 2 Sunlight Wolves and 2 Raging Phoenixes, because we had to share these with Fire King, and obviously you cannot take those away from Fire King. So we have to find a way to make this work. It's why there's 1 Heat Leo in the deck. We're never relinking this. The reason to play this is we literally just needed another Salmon Grade Link monster. Just 1 more Salad Link. Because this is kind of skimp, obviously. And you have to be very careful not to run out of these in testing. Jaguar is very important to make sure you had the flow of these still going. But it was really funny. You consider the FTK version for Salad? No, I think going first this deck is pretty good already. Like, this deck's actually really good going first, so I don't think it was necessary. Gonna play the Code of Soul variant. So this is a deck Ryan actually tested a lot in June. And we just thought like we just thought it's better. Not like
That card fucking sucks.
Yeah. It's just so unneeded.
Yeah. Like in the TCG and in Master Duel, that card is just not good. It's a non-searchable except for Horse Prince pick. You should be searching Ash anyway. It takes up 2 extra deck spots. There's just no way. That card sucks.
Yeah. So there's one of the questions. What was it? We're thinking to need this deck. This deck's not bad. This is the deck I practiced more than Tier because I know Tier so well. Like the last 2 or 3 weeks, I just kept playing this and rated to try and learn, which is rough because this deck fucking is terrible against Fire King and Yubel. Oh my god, I like 4 different times in rated. I'd do the combo, give them a monster, then pop it with Princess. Like I'd Weasel, give them a monster, pop with Princess, and then fucking trigger Garunix in their hand. Send Kieran, pop my card, and summon Arvada. I was like, what the hell? Holy shit, they came up way too much.
It was kind of lucky because I was playing this deck just for fun in the TCG with Centauri, and then that experience like ended up kind of like shaping the basis for us bringing this deck. And I mean, even though we didn't use it, this card was good.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. The side salad deck. I know I'm like a huge salad hater, but this deck is actually like fine. Why did you choose to run Horse Prince? It searches Ash. So the combo is you get the Horse Prince, whatever, you Rage of Fire, get the Weasel, you Princess, reviving level 3, survive Gazelle, special Weasel from hand, you have 2 more Salad Engrave. This is a tuner, so you make Horse Prince. Special level 3 fire from the deck, so you summon Ash Blossom. Then you make Raging Phoenix, then you make Sunlight Wolf for your last 2 monsters. Weasel effect triggers, goes to the bottom of the deck to draw a card, and then summons a Salad from your grave to their field. So you summon, say, Gazelle to their field, though you should probably not do that in case they're playing Salad. And you summon it to the zone Sunlight Wolf points to. Sunlight Wolf then adds back a fire in the grave, so you add back Ash. Princess triggers, popping Wolf and Gazelle, so they don't get to keep the monster. And then the Raging Phoenix Engrave triggers, and you can link off the Princess plus the Raging Phoenix for a second Raging Phoenix and add the trap. So that's how you end on this plus this at a bare minimum. totally is the Kakashi of Team 7. Yes, this year he was Kakashi. Because he consulted for... he didn't talk to me directly about Salad, but he talked to Ryan about it a lot. And because those two played the deck a lot back in May and June. Maybe just May, but...
Yeah, Centoli and I just like our shit decks.
Yeah, the fake sold in the Salad decks. Consider running Gozen in this. Gozen is bad versus both voiceless and branded. And I was playing this deck into branded and voiceless. So same reason, right? Like, you consider that. I considered Rivalry for a second because it's better versus branded, but it's not versus voiceless. And I decided... I mean, it's fine versus that deck as well, but it decided going first wasn't the problem for this deck. It's going second, and that card wasn't good enough going second. So, so the Rivalry in Gozen just kind of did not make the cut.
That card just doesn't change your win rate. You win going first anyways, you lose going second anyways.
Can't Princess the Rivalry. I mean, I never even tested it, I guess, but maybe that would have become a thing if I did try it. We just decided it wouldn't have made enough of a difference to warrant playing it. If you want to play this deck in rated, you would change a couple things. You'd probably find space for the extra deck to change. Don't need Typhon, really. Don't need Helio. Want to throw Raging Phoenix, obviously, if you can.
Yeah, you also play Crossout.
Yeah, exactly. The reason why this can't be a main deck is this deck is so bad into Maxi. It is really bad into Maxi. That's like the biggest problem with it as well. So it's always like, no matter how comfortable I am with the deck, I'm always going to be crossing my fingers a bit, because if I get Maxi, you literally can't do anything. It's give your opponent 3 draws for 1 negate or pass on nothing. So
Sometimes it's 2 draws.
Huh?
Sometimes it's 2 draws if they chain to this out.
Did we consider Buffalo? No, it's more important to do the 1-card combos to search Ash. I miss anything, Ryan? I guess this is a deck that you contributed heavily towards as well.
Nah, it's like pretty standard. I don't think the deck's changed much in the last few months.
Did you consider playing a stun deck for Worlds? So we didn't play a stun deck because we just think those decks can't win going second. And if you want an auto win going first deck, you could just play a combo deck. Like, I would have rather played an FTK deck, I think. Well, maybe not when lose to hand traps, but that's what tier kind of is, right? It feels like you should win most of the time going first. Were there surprises in my matchups? I didn't expect super heavy FTK. That's not something I expected to play against.
I thought Stellar would play it. I didn't think KG would.
Sure. They weren't in our group, though, yeah. Why do you think Konami's only giving 250 random fans to Team 7? Or 250 gems to sorry, oh my god. Why do you think Konami is only giving gems to 250 random fans to Team 7? Not Konami, I think it's stupid as well. I also voted for my own team, so... Wait, did we get rewards yet?
No.
What does it give out?
I assume after maintenance.
When's maintenance?
Tomorrow night.
I want to swap the old World's border with the new World's border.
No, wait, where do I go for that? Pick your champion thing?
I have a strange feeling it might be the same.
Of course it'll be the same.
See? I had confidence in myself this time. Team 7!
I voted for Brazil.
Brasil!
Get scammed.
Fala galera. Like, Coca Lights when they come out? I mean, I don't know how creative it'll be, but yes, I'll play it. Retrospective notes of the card destruction game. Notes you players on Twitter were all over it. Okay, so the card destruction game, the card destruction part is not the cool part. The way I played through the field, I'm happy about, because my hand wasn't even that good. I really liked the pop on my own Kaleidoheart to keep myself playing, because I knew that he could clear the rest of my field, and then I could add back to the tier cache. Because I had to get someone lucky, and I milled to the Dotscaper, and I'm like, holy shit, that's it. He princessed my share because he knew I'd revive Destrudo if he didn't. And then because of that, I was able to get going, get into Curious. And once I'm there, that play is not that crazy. Also, we knew there were no hand traps in the deck besides Ash, Imperm, and Maxi. Maxi was used. He had cards on the field. He couldn't Imperm. He already used Kieran, so he couldn't use Kieran. It was only Ash. So I knew that I had to get to Apo to win the game. And then I milled a Gamma from his deck. I can make Baron instead of Apo. It's the same shit. I could have done both as well if I needed to, but I knew it was over at that point. Like, I actually wasn't even close to running out of time, because it's someone who plays this deck nonstop, and if you've watched my stream before, you know that's not even that crazy of a play. Of course, it looks super flashy, but it happens a fair bit. Us three should participate in together in the next Team YCS. I've proposed that, and then they always have prior obligations.
I'm down. I don't have any plans.
I don't play the fucking TCG.
Well, now I have an obligation for Vegas, but the next one...
Who are you teaming with
I'll
Vegas?
take the fault this time. I promised Dom I'd play with him.
Tom got in early.
Well, we were supposed to play Chile together, but we canceled because of the Duelist Cup.
Well, you can go to Chile now.
I'm not booking last minute flight to Chile. Unless you want to sponsor me for $2,000 flight.
Oh, well, you can go to Lille now.
That one is only 1,000, so I'll see about that, but it's also closer. Yeah.
Wait, Lille is closer than Chile?
Yeah, significantly. People don't realize how far South America is. It's actually really far. Like, it's a 12-hour flight from me to Santiago. Whereas Lille is like 7.5, 8 hours. So it is actually a noticeable difference. Also, there's no direct flight to Santiago. I mean, I don't think there is, at least. I'll tell you about it. But you live in Ecuador too, which is not even the farthest. Like, Ecuador is relatively close compared to like some places. Dude, flying within South America can be rough. I arrive in Colombia sometimes on my way to like Brazil, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm in South America. I must be close now. And look, flight time 5 hours. Like, fuck. After flying 6 hours, whatever, to Colombia, now it's 5 more hours still. It took you 30 hours to get to Worlds. Yeah, Judeo, like, Paulo does that every YCS, and I have so much appreciation for him because he does it every time, and he still doesn't do it. He doesn't complain that much either. He's a fucking soldier. He just hops on these 24-hour flights because he loves to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and he just gets it done. So, like, that shit's crazy to me. The amount of commitment that takes is insane. Please, Ryan, do live streaming. Ryan is probably busy with school.
Oh my god, I'm so screwed for school. So
You just
bad.
started the semester. So probably all bullshit that you missed. He's just used to it, but still his fights haven't gotten less bad. I don't know if I get used to it, man. Black holing a full day each way you travel, each time you travel, is gross.
How old is Paulo?
34, I think.
Okay, I don't know how he does it because like I got destroyed on my flight back from Seattle. Like my fucking ass was like just on like sore as fuck, just sitting on the Delta plane for like 4 hours.
He's older for
And
sure.
I'm younger than him.
Your ass is always sore, little bro. I guess something. Paulo's 38. Damn, I got it wrong. Crazy. He's used to the time chamber. Like, I think about how much time I spend on a plane each year, and I want to throw up. And then I can only imagine Paulo's is just double mine. It's actually crazy that sometimes it's just easier for him to fly to Europe. Like, I'm pretty sure his flight to Lille is probably better than his flights to some places in North America. People also forget that, like, South America juts outwards. So, like, it's closer to Africa and Europe than people think it is. You ought not do 16-hour drives for vacation. No, that sounds terrible. I'm also getting famous in the OCG community. Dude, I have some crazy games. I don't know if I'll have time for today, but tomorrow at least I will go over all of my rounds in review and talk them over with you guys because I made plenty of mistakes. I could also talk about some of the cool plays I made because things people may not notice. There was some stuff I was proud of. I had a lot of really stressful, like, close games as well. We're talking about the DK situation. I'll gloss over it quickly. I don't like getting involved in drama too much. I obviously think it's kind of stupid. I think that it should be an open list tournament because scouting is impossible to stop and it will happen. So he's not wrong about that. However, he is not God. He can't just decide to upend the entire tournament unannounced by releasing all the deck lists. That does kind of ruin it. So, like, that is a crazy thing for him to do. I wish Konami would just make an open deck list. We don't have that happening either. Because, like, we shouldn't have to deal with any of that nonsense. It should just be open deck list. Like, it's fine if it's open deck list. Like, what they should do is for the cheer your thing campaign, after deck list submission, because that's when the cheer your campaign or cheer your champion thing happens. And you see all the interviews, you see the pools already. Make the deck list open. People have time to practice, prepare, and rewards people who put more effort in as well, which is fine to reward. Because in reality, surprises don't work in these level of tournaments anyways. Even in the YCS, surprises only work until Top Cut because then people will know about it anyways. The same here. Round 1, you may surprise somebody. Like, I'm certain Josh's Yubel deck was not based on surprise factor, because if it was surprise factor, he would have known it would work once and then never again. And that's not a good strategy to win a tournament. Like, a deck has to be able to hold its own without being a surprise factor. And
like, to be fair, the first, like, for Master of Worlds, for some decks, like, you only need the surprise factor once or twice.
Sure, but
like, I think it would maybe not in advance, but like open deck list as soon as the deck is used once would be cool.
I think it'd be cooler if you could see it in the pick your the cheer on your champion thing.
Nah, I think giving people weeks to prepare is kind of weird. Like, I think there's something to be said for like being able to adapt or like understand like how to play matchups without needing 2 weeks to think about it, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, I think we have the same general idea, right? Deck list should be open, but not like this.
Sure, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, I think you can always debate stuff, and like I also could be wrong in practice. Like, this is all hypothetical, and you never know if I also missed an important flaw. One of the funny things though, that's unrelated to that, and saw someone mentioning left arm, is when Grass got unbanned, I had to like hold it in when I was doing reactions, and I was talking in the Chills videos, which were filmed before Worlds. I had to hold it in when I'm talking about this thrust for Grass deck. Like, that's just what I'm playing for Worlds, left arm thrust Grass. I know there's no snow, but that's just like what I would do in the TCG, right? Because if people aren't putting up spell negates, I'm fucking mailing my deck and telling them to eat shit. That's fun. Especially no Maxi. Fuck that card. What were our toughest opponents?
Sarah, right?
Pardon?
Is Sarah Hero's Future?
We should have swept Sierra. I think it was just Hero's Future for sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we lost to Hero's Future, but I also think Sarah was like really good.
Yeah, I mean, their mistake, I guess. I'm wondering. I think they messed up against you, but
I mean, they messed up crazy letting Ray win for free, right?
Which one?
They let Ray play against Runic Stun.
Oh, they queued a bad matchup for no reason. They knew we played Pearly. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
But I mean, also like at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure like no team was perfect, right? Everyone made mistakes.
Yeah, I threw that match, by the way, guys. If we lost top 4, it's my fault. Ryan had to reel me back in because I was collapsing after top 4. I then almost threw the third round because Ray and Ryan both lost, and I almost threw game 3 again in the match.
It's okay.
Like, I haven't chewed on my strings on a hoodie in maybe a decade since high school, and then I just getting so nervous at Worlds, I started chewing on the lanyard. You can see it on stream. Like, it's the nervous habit I haven't had in 10 years, and it came back. I was like freaking out.
I don't think people realize how close we were to losing to Sarah because like
when we shouldn't have,
people
slaughtered them.
No, people saw you. Like people probably saw you make SP to banish his tier cache and thought, "Oh, sure, board presence." But that is not why that happened. Like, we almost passed and probably lost, and then we were like, "Holy shit, we're gonna get super polyed on our dweller. We're gonna like link off the butters."
Yeah, so I should have made Kaleido hard, not roll Kalos. That's the problem I made. Because his hand was crazy. His hand was Planet Super Poly Shuffler. So like, I actually would have lost. Because like the way you lose at the tier mirror is Super Poly to prevent Dweller, discard Shuffler. I actually would have lost to that. And the Planet would have been like the final nail in the coffin.
Oh my god, it's fucking terrifying to think about.
Because I also don't think I even rolled a Shuffler.
No, you lost for sure. If you got Super Poly.
Kind of annoying how the final was again kind of one-sided. It happens. I think Emery did make a mistake against me for sure. Ryan won the roll in the Fire Mirror, which is very, very important. Ray and Quantal's game I feel like was a cool one. That was actually
Ray drew much better than Quantal.
I think my game with Emery was like a good game, obviously, but I think Emery did make a mistake. And then the last round, I was a brick.
Emery probably could have beaten Ray too, right? If he didn't play that turn on.
Ryan just drew better than Quantal. I just destroyed him. And then, yeah, Ray's hand was just broken. So, that happened. I think that was our prep really, really going in. Because the thing is, look at this. If we swept this team here, A1, which we should have, if I didn't play like dog shit, we would have swept both top 4 in the finals, and we would have swept twice in here, which means we would have swept 4 out of 7 matches, which is what we should have had. Which is
No,
crazy. I think our deck building and our play really paid off. And we were negative in coin flips. Like I don't think our luck was even that crazy. We got very lucky against Maxi. We fucking won the rolls and just destroyed them. That one was crazy luck. But all the other matches, I guess the finals was solid. It wasn't as crazy, but the other matches were crazy luck.
Yeah.
The one that was crazy was definitely Maxi. We fucking drew broken against them.
We got extremely lucky.
Just win the roll. They win the roll, didn't get him, and then just FTK'd twice. That was fun. I mean, that's the thing that like, Tier does, right? Tier and Far can both all of our decks. We win the roll, and they don't. Their hand isn't good. We'll just win the game instantly.
I mean, yeah, but also like, I won 5 flips the whole fucking tournament. Like that's horrible, right? So
Yeah.
it had to happen sometime.
Emery did a bogan mid worlds. What does that mean?
He won 10 matches in a row.
Why is that a bogan?
You know the Bogan challenge on Twitter? It's winning 10 matches in a row.
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, that's the thing.
Cool. Maxi's Cam and G, right? It's Cam, G, and Fetty. That match was not close. We just had better hands the entire time and won the rolls. That's what happens when variances on your side. Like that can just happen. Like my YGO was like a team that felt like for us, we should have been 9-0'd by them probably. We clawed out 3 wins somehow. Like they won all the rolls, and the 2 times we won the roll, we passed, we bricked. It was crazy rough. Please can you watch the game where you get max seed, you card destruction for game? I'm gonna go over all the replays tomorrow. Because I don't want to have the stream last forever. I will be live. I'll be more on my normal schedule, so we'll stream at. I'm probably gonna change my schedule to 1 p.m. instead of noon, just that way I give myself more time to eat lunch. But I'll be back to a normal schedule, and we'll have more constant streams for you guys. Yeah. The 11 win streak with the turn on the flu is kind of crazy. Yeah, I think Embry was just playing tier 2 decks, and the fact he was doing so well with decks that are clearly worse than Fire King, Yubel, and Tier and Brandon, in my opinion, is kind of crazy.
What did we think about Centurion? We considered playing it for a bit, but we decided it was too bad at going second, just too inconsistent, too weak to hand traps. Like it's just not a tier 1 deck. It's not good. But we did prepare for it. Like we made the pure lead deck especially with that matchup in mind, even though we decided not to play it.
Can we show the striker deck? Sure, let me pull it up. It should be saved here somewhere, right? Yeah. But you typed so much in this striker chat because you kept playing it for fun and rated.
Yeah, it was good.
This photo's terrible too. It's just so blurry for some reason. Alright, 1 second. That's what the deck looked like. Ryan can talk about this.
Wait, where is it?
Oh, I'm only streaming to you guys.
This isn't even the right list.
That's that. Yeah, that I was about to say that does not look.
Oh,
right.
it's not. It's the list you posted.
That's like an old one.
Can you post the new one then, and I'll put it on screen?
I deleted it from my account.
Oh, for Christ's sake! All right, I'll build it and master it real quick. I'm pretty sure I have all the cards.
Damn, this chat really want to see Sky Striker that bad.
Yeah, Striker has a lot of fans, even if I'm not one of them. I don't hate Striker though either. I'm not. I play it up because it's funny to be the antithesis to you guys, but I don't hate Sky Striker. I hate Exosister. That deck's fucking boring, but
Hater.
Ray and I like Exosister.
I do not love the deck nearly as much as you guys. All right, what Sky Striker cards are we playing?
3 Ray.
Ray.
1 Rose.
Yep.
2 Shark. 3 Widow. 1 Burner.
1 second. 1 burner, 2 shark, 3 widows.
Oh come on, it's just obvious ratios for everything. Like
Okay, how many multi-roll?
1.
Any area zeros?
No. You're missing drones. Yep. Do the extra deck. There's 3 Kagari. 1 of you are next to Kagari. 2 Shizuku.
2. Okay.
1 Camellia. 1 Kena. 2 Hayate. And 1 Zeke.
Zeke. Where's my world? Where's Zeke? Okay.
3 Appetite.
Upstart Goblin.
6 Talents. Desires.
Desires.
3 soul release. 2 called by.
Soul releases the goo. Already is it? Here it is. Called by the grave.
1 Raigeki, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Herald of the Abyss.
The hell? I one Regeki, one Dark Hole.
Trade blade.
Oh, okay. And was the last card Herald Abyss you said? Oh, for Pearly?
Yeah.
Remember when Ray played against Pearly
3
Naturia
lightning
in
strike,
this deck?
1 feather spear. Or
was a
2
great
lightning? I
time.
can't remember what it's at. I think it's a 3.
Yeah, it's a 3. Fucking, I can't believe he played against Pearly Naturia.
Hida, Typhon, Access Code, SP.
I don't know why I'm doing this. I always forget I have this. Apparently I haven't updated this. God damn it.
SP.
No
Access Code.
Typhon here.
I'm personally a Dark Charmer enjoyer.
I think Hida's way better.
Yeah,
What else did I
Azalea.
No, Maxi's not in there. I'm forgetting something.
Mm.
Hmm.
I had that match versus Josh and my list hadn't been leaked. Yeah, you're right. If I hadn't been leaked, I wouldn't have bricked. No, I still would have lost. I don't know what you want me to do, guys. I bricked. Literally could have done nothing. It was very anticlimactic. The change of her? I don't think you played that.
Rhoda?
Oh, yeah.
2 linkage.
Oh, linkage for the OTK, right? I forgot about linkage. We considered this deck. We don't think this deck is that bad. Because also, like, if you play this, there's a chance they force you to go first with some decks. And Ryan has been playing this deck so fucking much in ladder. We were hoping that like round 1.
Almost let me start in the Fire King there.
Yeah, they let him start. We thought they would, or we thought maybe they would. Obviously, no one did, but that would have been awesome. I bricked a fair amount when we watched her play, like 3 or 4 times. It was way too often. It's not, the deck is not that consistent. It was a bit crazy how often I bricked. My hand, like the hands were so ridiculous. Did I explain why I queued Salad versus KG? Well, my tier deck has no hand traps. The other deck had hand traps. I played versus FTK, so it wasn't really a hard decision. You thought Ryan would play Striker for sure. Now Ryan's just casually trying to grind rank 1 Raider with fucking Striker.
Well, I didn't want to use any of my actual decks, so I had to play something.
Do we consider Brandon to begin in this format? Yeah, but I think you can't play Brandon in tier because there's overlap in the board breakers like Droplet and Thrust. We felt tier is better. And also, like, my expertise with tier is like unparalleled, where Brandon, any one of us play it would not be as good as some of the other players.
Also, Brandon just extremely underperformed, I think.
That's because the deck's bad.
I don't know if you do Josh like 4 times than Brandon. He was bitching about that. I said that is the next circular that Josh is going to complain about is going to be Brandon. He's going to get Brandon Fusion banned.
I got to like 1840 with this Striker deck on Rated, but then all the OCG players started making me go fucking first. Cringe.
Nice.
That's when you should have started switching back to Fire King.
Is there a main takeaway lesson you took from Worlds last year that was applied here? In game, I feel like we were better at communicating. I don't know.
Our communication was really good.
My deck was simpler, but at least myself specifically, I spent more time talking to Ray and Ryan this year than I did last year. I remember last year in the finals, I had to tell Ryan to shut up because I wanted to be alone. That's not Ryan's fault. I was being snappy, but like we weren't.
Yeah, it's nobody's fault. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like I asked you guys to shut up like once this year, right?
Yeah. You'll know the pressure, man. When you're at World and there's 12 seconds on your clock, and Ryan made a mistake. Ryan thought I was Quantal, and he pointed something out that wasn't relevant to the game, or wasn't relevant because he thought I was Quantal. I just told him to shut up because I needed to focus. I had 12 seconds left. I was rushing.
There's like nothing like the pressure of like having a low timer at Worlds. Holy shit.
Dude, Ryan was so scared. I was at like 12 seconds that one game. I can see you were nervous more than me. But I get that because you don't know my abilities. Like I don't know your abilities, right? Like I was getting nervous when you were Atlantis OTKing with 20 seconds.
Oh no, no, I can. Once I got to Zealantis, I knew it was fine.
Yeah, you looked like you were fine, and I trusted you. But obviously, I'm still crossing my fingers. Please don't misclick. Please nothing.
But like,
Please just go.
I mean, I could have lost that game if I like wasn't fast, right?
Why did I normal Rhino with no effect? When did I do that? That's not me, bro.
I actually think I remember you had a game like that where you saved Rhino Height's effect for later in the turn or some shit.
Maybe
I'm
there's a
not
game
sure
like that, but if it did, it was intentional. I never misclicked the Rhino. That's not something I ever did. Like there are times where you would do something like that. I could see it happening, but it would not be a miss. Like Quantos was a misclick. He'll openly say that. But yeah, my
Oh my
misclick
god,
last year was the Imprim column. I didn't do that this year.
dude! When Ray had game, like the final game, I was like shitting myself.
So was I, dude. Because the fucking Pearly combo, the amount of times we've watched a Pearly player ash themselves on their own Pearly spell, or like forget to attach, or just not cue the right effect. It's just so many. Then when he had game, we know, okay, there's like 20 click actions before we're world champion.
Okay, but he had like 200 seconds. I was like, okay, just
I
take
know
your
he had
time.
time. He had time.
Yeah.
So it's like, take your fucking time. Please don't misclick, and we're world champions. And obviously, like Ray was fine, but I was not fully unstressed.
My hands like were I think were like shaking. I had to like consciously like
I feel like I would have
grip
to hold
like
my
my
other hand
shirt.
down because I would have been shaking. I was shaking.
Because all my other fingers off my mouse. It was just my index finger.
Oh man, it's indescribable how much pressure it really is. Like,
No, it's like, oh my god.
like
When I was like, when we had this game where I had to Skyburn, and I got like really low on his turn, I was so scared.
the top four, yeah, versus
Yeah.
who was that again?
Sabadek.
Sabadek, NUK, yeah.
Sabadek.
What's good, Vlad? Thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate it. Heroes feature of pure goats. There are many really good teams. Like the
Dude, I hope like a little part of hope Tasuku wins next year if we don't.
Masvidal has one of the most toxic ways to qualify. However, what it produces is a tournament filled with incredibly strong players every time, and it shows like the tournament. I feel like is better than the TCG. Like obviously this is bias speaking, so affirm it with your own thoughts, not mine. But it is crazy. 3 of the same top 4 are the DC Cup winners, yeah, and then the 3 of the same top 4 ish. Obviously, Tasuku's team wasn't the same, but it still was Tasuku as a leader. And then the 4th was being one of the teams in our group last year, or not fully, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. And I think a lot of the same players will be going back constantly, which I think is also good for the game because that's like a real esport, right? Where the best people show up constantly. Because it gives you someone to root for time and time again. It creates storylines. And that I think helps esport grow, which needs to be my perspective, but at least watching like Melee or COD when I was younger, that's what that felt like. Like how hype would it have been was it for spectators, for you guys, when you saw that it was us versus Josh again? Josh Emery Quantal, not to downplay his teammates. It was so more entertaining, the TCG Worlds. I feel like it had to have been. How crazy was it for you when you found that you were doing the rematch in the finals? I had a feeling it would be that after we saw the standings day one.
We were also watching
thought
them
that
play out
Jesse was
semis
cooked.
because we finished first.
We watched the end of the last game. Wasn't really that much. The whole final was great. I mean, the final was probably the worst part of it because it was so one-sided. But I think the rest of the tournament must have been very entertaining.
Why are you complaining about the final?
It was great for us, but I don't blame people if they say it was boring. It was not close. I think I had a cool game versus Emery. Your game was neat versus Quantal, but like your game versus Emery was not close. Neither Ryan's games were close, and my game versus Josh was pathetic. It was also like not even close to close.
I thought my game versus Emery was pretty
Dude,
entertaining.
I literally
Entertaining
sat
for
down
us.
for the finals and just like Snake Eye NPC twice.
Why did Ryan also not the way Labyrinth? Ryan, you're gonna get asked this for the rest of the time.
That deck fucking sucks.
For
lack of a better explanation.
I've seen like 20 people ask that question, Ryan. You were never gonna live down the Labyrinth allegations. Was the ban list combined like for TCG Worlds? Well, Master Duel has its own ban list, so it's just Master Duel ban list. RJ might be joining Greed and Subadeck next year. Can they speak to each other properly?
They do on Twitter. Everyone speaks to each other on Twitter.
Okay, but I mean like in like without Google Translate, because I have to imagine that
Well,
knows.
both of them can speak English, and I think both of them can also speak some Japanese. So,
Then great. That'd be a good team. What about Gimlet
I mean,
though?
both of them are fucking broken.
Because Gimlet wasn't there this year.
Need Gimlet picture.
Third Royal Snow when? So next week, guys, I will do a stream trying to get some more Royals for this deck because I want to show my love back into this game. I'll wait a little bit more for you guys. I want to Royal out Grass more than anything else. I think. I want to get Royal Left Arms. That's easy. That's super. I don't think I can go for this Royal Thrust. Is going to cost me $1 million for Royals. I just never even played 3 Snows though, so I don't know if I even want a third Royal Snow. It could be a waste.
Get your Royal Fusions.
I've been trying. I've opened so much of this pack.
Start crafting them.
I only have 2,000 dust. I don't think you realize how much it costs.
I got my Kagari in like 900.
Yeah, thank you. It took me like 7,000, like 9,000 for 2 Snows.
Oh yeah, well I have 10 dust.
Explain the 2KUR dust. I told you guys I'm saving it. Literally next week, I'll use it all. I'm saving it. I'm going to try to get multiple. I will probably, because Grass doesn't come in a pack, right? How do you check?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, I'll probably open the tier pack, trying to, like, and if I pull Royals, I did pull a Planet. I pulled Planet and I pulled the Scream. And I pulled like 9 fucking Kikalises and 9 tier caches or whatever Royal. Still only one Seamare randomly, but whatever. But yeah, pulling this would be raw. Dweller might be a good Royal as well. That card was so broken. Before, yeah, at the start of
Dweller's the
testing for
goat.
Worlds, Ray would just non-stop talk about how broken Dweller is.
I mean, he was right.
He is, but he kept trying to like force it another decks too. I can't
You think
believe.
Emre's Legacia over Auxilia was a mistake, given he was going to set 5 back row?
Auxilia doesn't protect that back row.
He was going Legacia to
Yeah.
try to draw a hand trap, so I think it's right.
Yeah, I think what he did was fine. The only thing he did wrong was summon Primera in attack.
Which is
Nah, he could have Blaze Edge you too, I think, right?
oh yeah, probably yeah.
Yeah, what?
He could have Blaze Edge you on his turn.
Oh, just make a
I
Crimson
wonder if
Dragon
he
on
would
his turn.
have negated the Cosmic or negated the Duster, then lose to Cosmic Reboot still.
Yeah.
Because I think that's still how it would have gone. Why the Dot Scraper
Maybe.
and 2 Lingeribos? I'll be posting this on my YouTube tomorrow, the deck profiles and all that sort. And then obviously I'll keep streaming, but we went over all the deck choices already. Yeah. Remember should have made Blazer on his turn? Yeah, that's what we're kind of what we're talking about. Go for Dweller to add to the collection of your hated card in Royal Rare. I don't. Dweller's weird. Dweller is so broken. I hate when it's used against me. Wait, it's in the Mermail pack? Damn it. Mermails are in the tier pack, so I have Royal Mermail cards just by coincidence. I think I have a Gaios. Yeah, I have Royal Gaios, and I have 2 Royal Megalos. What do you think of the lineup?
I can't believe Sky Striker shares a pack with fucking Math Mech.
Yeah, that
of all
one's funny.
decks.
That's a good pack, though.
I think I have a Royal Sigma, just for the vibes.
Would you rather keep playing Master World or TCG World? Ignoring the format, so like what cards are legal at the time, Master Duel. However, if I were to have a choice between the two, and one format is just better than the other, I'm choosing the one with the better format. At least that's my opinion. I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts on that.
I mean, I just feel like aiming to go to TCG Worlds, much less win TCG Worlds, isn't a realistic goal. Like, it's something you can try for, but it's not something, like, it's not something that's in your control at all, I think. But Master Worlds kind of is.
Yeah, I think that's why we see a lot of the same people at Master Duel Worlds this year.
Like, there's probably going to be, like, at least half the same people coming back next year, too, right? Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And Worlds has this funny effect on people. And once you get a taste of it, it's
Yeah.
incredible, right? Like you just want to go back because
I thought that Jesse was cooked.
holy shit, my body's ready. Thank you so much for 50 subs. You are the GOAT. Thank you so much.
The 100
Um,
subs
I
total.
thought that
but you get a
Jesse was
taste of the
cooked.
thrill, the competition, the one tournament where Konami treats you well each year and then gives you better prizing. And I'll go over we can go over
I
the whole
thought that
experience, I guess,
Jesse
as
was
well.
cooked.
But it's the one tournament where you really feel appreciated. Like if there is a thing that Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't need to fix, Worlds
I thought
isn't
that
really one
Jesse
of them.
was cooked.
And
Yeah,
like
there's
the
like-
tournament is done properly. So you go and you say, I want to be back here. And you fight
I
hard
thought
to
that
get back.
Jesse was
And
cooked.
if you put a lot of effort in, you're good and you know what you're doing and you really try, Master Duel rewards that. TCG, it
I
can
thought that Jesse
you
was
can
cooked.
qualify again. It's not like impossible, but it is definitely there is way more luck and variance
thought that
to
Jesse
it
was
than there would
cooked.
be in a Master Duel. So you can't just hard work all the way. Hard work and
I thought that
get all the
Jesse
way
was
there like you
cooked.
can with Master Duel.
I
I'm
thought
sorry, I
that
cut you off,
Jesse
Ryan.
was
And you want
cooked.
to speak now?
I was just gonna say, like, World is so sick.
It is sick. And this was probably the worst
like-
world
I
they've
thought
had,
that
but it
Jesse
was still
was
cool.
cooked.
There's like nothing else that's really like it. Like Yukio is, at least.
It
I
feels
thought
weird to
that
end your
Jesse
season in
was
playoffs.
cooked.
Well, for most players, for most of their career, that's how it is. That's what it was for me for so long.
I thought
Like
that
it's
Jesse was
almost
cooked.
incredible that like someone like myself and Josh have qualified every year since points came out. Like that is for us that's different
I
now,
thought
but
that
like
Jesse was cooked.
that's really hard to do. Like I'm not trying to understate the difficulty getting the Worlds.
I thought that Jesse was
I will never
cooked.
win Duels Cup to bring back Team 7 to Worlds. Dude, winning a Duels Cup sounds cool. I don't know if I can. I have it in me.
I
too
thought
old.
that Jesse was cooked.
I'm decrepit. I feel like I could do
See.
decently in a Duels Cup, but winning is so
I
rough.
thought that Jesse was cooked.
Ryan
mean,
is
you
the
could win.
monster.
You could win,
I
but
thought
like,
that Jesse was
I mean,
cooked.
like, even for like me or Tasaku, that shit's not easy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that Jesse
But
was
like,
cooked.
fuck, it's so rough. And we're just spamming
I thought
the
that Jesse was
the 50
cooked.
subs and spamming the Jerome. I thought that Jesse was cooked. I don't know if there needs to be a new
I
audio
thought
clip
that
for
Jesse was
a sub.
cooked.
Tasaku is 34. 25. Okay, well,
I
you guys
thought
have no
that
idea. 'cause
Jesse
it's
was
different
cooked.
numbers.
I thought he was 26 or something.
I thought
no
that
idea.
Jesse was cooked.
He's for sure not in his 30s.
I mean, sure. He's born
I thought that
1998.
Jesse
Okay,
was
sure,
cooked.
yeah. He's a year older than me. Did you get to talk to the OCG players about the games? I feel
I
kind of
thought
bad.
that Jesse
I
was cooked.
don't talk to the OCG players because their Twitter handles and their gamer tags are all just not their real names,
I
and they don't have
thought that
pictures.
Jesse was cooked.
So I have no idea who they are in real life, and I feel bad. I'm like, I'm not confrontational, so I don't go up
I
and introduce
thought that
myself
Jesse
like
was
unless I know I
cooked.
can go up and talk to them. So I kind of just didn't. KG introduced himself to me, so I ended up
I
knowing who he
thought that
was.
Jesse was cooked.
And I recognized Tasaku from last year, but that's it.
I'll introduce you next year.
I thought that Jesse was
'Cause
cooked.
I felt bad. I feel like I started interacting with those guys more on Twitter as well, but I still just like didn't talk to them at
I
Worlds
thought that
because
Jesse
I didn't
was
know who was
cooked.
who. Like I saw two people with the last name Kim. I don't know who that was.
I was
I
talking
thought
with
that Jesse
Greed,
was cooked.
and that was, but like he was like with some of his buddies, and I wasn't sure who was who.
I thought that
And I
Jesse
just
was
like
cooked.
I didn't know what
It's
to do.
awkward. It's awkward. I don't know. Like, because I feel bad. Like you
I
don't
thought
want to
that
like
Jesse was cooked.
disrespect somebody who you do respect. So like, it can be a bit
I
weird.
thought that Jesse was cooked.
Thanks, Sam. Thank you so much for the sub. Yeah.
I thought that Jesse was cooked.
I do wish I put more effort in the communicate. I honestly should have. If you guys also can't tell, I'm
I thought
I'm
that
sick.
Jesse was
Or like,
cooked.
it's not sick. I'm exhausted. Like, so what happened is, I had Cancun planned since
I
January,
thought
the
that
trip with my
Jesse was
family.
cooked.
Thought it would be after Worlds, but it wasn't. And I pretty much spent 10 hours at home between
I
Cancun
thought that
and
Jesse
Seattle.
was cooked.
I was literally home for 10 hours before going to the airport, and I had to film videos for you guys, like
I
pre-recorded
thought that
videos.
Jesse was
So I
cooked.
did not sleep at all. Cancun, we were doing like very active stuff. We were snorkeling, went to an adventure park,
I
where we
thought
did like
that
whitewater
Jesse was
rafting
cooked.
and rock climbing, and we went bird watching, which is still like hiking, even if it's not like super active
I
hiking.
thought that Jesse was
And
cooked.
yeah, I was just like very active the entire day, waking up 6 in the morning because you want to be up early to see animals before
I
it gets
thought
the
that
heat of the
Jesse
day.
was cooked.
And it was a vacation, but it wasn't relaxing. And then to
I
go
thought that
home,
Jesse
work
was
10
cooked.
hours through the night, hop on a plane. I could never sleep on the plane. Arrived in Seattle, and then we went straight walking around in the heat uphill. Went to the Pike Place Market, and I could feel. I actually felt it at lunch. My throat getting sore, which I know is a sign of me suffering from exhaustion, because I get the symptoms ish of a cold where I get like a sore throat and a blocked nose. And once it's like that, it stays for a couple days. And it's ass because after that,
I thought that Jesse was cooked.
It gets harder to sleep because now you just feel like shit. So I have to keep taking like nasal spray to decongest myself and lozenges for my throat the entire weekend. I'm still blocked right now. If you can tell, my nose is not
cooked.
Normal.
I thought that Jesse was.
I was low-key concerned. I would throw off my game, but it wasn't like that bad. Not like the December Duels Cup where I was hacking and coughing. I was properly sick. We need to do more tournaments with the OCG. That'd be cool. It's so hard to organize though, and it's you don't want to play in your own tournament either because that's kind of like unfair.
That Jesse was cooked.
So you never want to be the one organizing it. I should hit Nikocado. Dude lost 250. Okay, I'm not. Yeah, thank you. But since Ryan is getting White Baby Dragon off the Forbidden List, what are you asking for next month? I don't think Ryan even loves Dragon Link that much. Do you, Ryan?
I mean, I played it because it had to be done, but I don't like that deck that much.
I don't think. Yeah, it's like oftentimes you play decks. You don't have to like a deck. You don't have to hate it either. I'm sure it's just that you're indifferent. Like it's just Yu-Gi-Oh. You're fine with it. This is how I feel about Dragon Link.
I mean, what I want off the ban list is my fucking third Chandra and third Stovey. They shouldn't even be on there.
Yeah, they really don't need to be there. If I were to unhit something without it ruining the game, what would it be? I'd want Glow Up Bulb. I don't know if that'll ruin it too much. Glow Up Bulb could be cool though. Snow. Yeah. What? This is my deck. Chaos Dragon. Oh, so we have to have this discussion. I actually don't know if Ryan and Ray were here for that. On Sunday, I was talking with the Sala, Billy, and Nadir, like Fartfa. I don't know if I wonder if he's here. And we're talking about powerful cards. And for some reason, Sala and Nadir are comparing Calamity, like Shrieking Ball Calamities, and Chaos Ruler the Magical Dragon. And that part's not relevant.
That seems like a pretty fair
Chaos Ruler Magic Dragon. He calls it Magic Dragon. I'm like, what are you talking about? What's Magic Dragon? And he's like, Magic Dragon. I'm like, the one that mills 5. I'm like, who calls it Magic Dragon? So we walked around, like 20 different people. Not a single person knew he was talking about Chaos Ruler, the Magic Dragon. It's not even called, it's like the Magic Cold Dragon, but still, who calls it Magic Dragon? Do you guys call it Magic Dragon?
I would get it if he said magical, but not magic.
Oh, it's banned, right? That's why it's not here. Yeah. Chaos Ruler. He had the gall to tell us that so that Magic Dragon was technically part of the name, but Chaos Ruler wasn't. When in fact, Chaos Ruler is part of the name, and Magic Dragon technically isn't, because he thought it was Chaotic Ruler. So you'll all have to bug Fartfa with calling him Magic Dragon. People call it Pega. Yeah, I would. The first person we approached was Mike Thomas, Trishla TTV. Of course, brain rot as he is. We ask him, not realizing he'll respond, Pega Ruler. Like, okay, great. I guess it's not Magic Dragon, but he responded with Pega Ruler. He was the worst person to ask. No one else responded that, but he was the first person we asked. And he did respond to Pega Ruler. Gabe wasn't there. I don't know where Gabe was. Pega Ruler is the official name. If you said Pega Ruler, at least I know what you were talking about. Magic Dragon is crazy, right? Like, I thought he was talking about. Maybe it's not in this yet. Not in Master Duel. The new Dark Magician fusion with Dark Magician plus a dragon monster. It's like Dark Magician the Magical Dragon. I thought that's what he was talking about. I was so confused. Gabe Def calls it Chaos Ruler. Who doesn't call it Chaos Ruler? No, not Magia. Not Magia. It's in Master Duel. Dark Magician, the magical. This card. The Knight of Dragon Magic. Okay, never mind. I got the name wrong of this. This is what I thought it was. But I got the name wrong. Why is this an Ultra? The fuck does this come in? Alright, cool. Whatever. Further evidence that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players can read. Okay, sorry I mixed up Dark Magician, the Knight of Dragon Magic, and Dark Magician, the Magical Dragon. What can you cut down on the Horus to budget? So you probably, I mean, okay, there's no way. You either have to play the Snake Eye cards or the Horus cards. You play a mix of them, but like this deck doesn't work unless you max these out. You just need to play discard outlets. One Terrific Karma. You can take out one Terrific Karma. Play the random shitter Horus over Happy. Yeah, you could do that. Kevin SF. That's not the end of the world. There was actually a game where Kevin SF would have won me the game. In top 4.
Not like this, Jesse.
No, I was 100 off lethal if I did a different play. And I wouldn't have played into anything, but Kevin SF has 100 more attack.
It's 25, yeah.
Yeah. Because I could have gone Happy
Yeah,
Kevin
you
SF.
have Seamer Distruder, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I can't get Veilered. I legitimately would have 0 loss condition if I played Kevin SF.
Well, the lost condition is still Veiler Bishop.
No, Veiler, Bristol, and Bell.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh well. We're done. We're done here. No more
I'm
talks
so
about it ever.
ass.
It's okay.
I know.
At least you don't have to regret it for the rest of the time.
Oh yeah, that would have haunted me. That would have haunted you. If we requalified,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been brought back.
Nah, of course.
I could concentrate on summon Blazer on first turn. With Crimson Dragon. Because you have enough resources to make Crimson Dragon once, and then you do it again on your opponent's turn.
Are we pretty much done talking about everything?
I think we are. If you have any last questions to go over it, I'll release my my teammates. You guys have any other opinions or thoughts you want to say over anything about the World Championship? And same goes for chat. If you have any questions to ask them before, I guess they go move on with their day. I'll say something as well. Rayjin or Ray is a streamer as well. So I know many of you guys do watch him, and he has been growing greatly over the last little bit. But if you aren't already aware of him, he is also a streamer. So I just want to make sure you guys know that you can go watch him as well. I'm going to link his channel in a moment. Just pulling it up. There we go.
Goonie stream. There's no gooning.
Ray usually streams at night, so I don't know if you'll stream
There's a lot
today.
of tuning.
Will you?
I'm currently dealing with a few things right now. If I have time tonight, I will try to go live. But if not, then tomorrow.
Sure. So yeah,
Yeah,
just
well,
watch
tomorrow's
out. Make sure you
Wednesday,
guys
so
go
you have
follow
to.
him, and he will be live at some point this week as well as celebrate Worlds in his own right.
Yeah, I'll probably just like go over like how the trip went, show off some photos, maybe discuss some games, but yeah.
Does Ryan stream? He does not. They both have Twitter as well. You can check my Twitter, and I've tagged them like 40 times in the last week, so you can just go pull it from there. It's Team Captain's trophy. Yeah, so Ryan has the trophy, but he doesn't have it yet. The one they give us is like a placeholder, and then they get it engraved, and they send it to us later. The prize cards as well, they're getting shipped, so we don't have those either. That was a dinner party. We got Indian food, and we got ice cream.
It was pretty funny.
It was good. It was like 10 of us or whatever. It was fun. Dude, the ice cream was so neg. I feel bad. Asala bought me the ice cream as a present, and then I just could not eat it. I was so full. Because I ate a lot of Indian place. Like, I said, fuck it, I need it all day, so I ordered like 3 dishes to try that's bits and pieces of. Fully aware I was going to waste stuff. And then by the time we went to ice cream, I had 2 bites and then threw it out.
Do you remember the survey we did?
What survey?
I like as for worlds like as one of my like brainless answers. Like for what do you want most right now that money can buy? I put ice cream.
Oh, you got ice cream.
So I ended up getting my ice cream.
If Tears getting hit, it's probably snow. Watch they hit left arm offering. Do you guys get change content info with any of the OCG players? I mean, we just message on Twitter, right?
People say some of the craziest shit. Like people said, for your game against, I saw people saying like you're so lucky you had left arm. Like, what do you mean? Thrust is better. Like grass is better. Like it can be anything
I
else. You
literally
literally
didn't
have
draw
to banish
thrust.
2 cards from your hand.
I drew thrust one time all tournament and I went first and I bricked. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Are you gonna spam world champ reacts like Josh did for that last year? Absolutely.
Dude, there's already a video on your YouTube that has world champion in the title.
It wasn't that originally, but that was intentional because I wanted people to comment that I should be doing that, which they did. Now I'd push the algorithm, and then after a day passed, then I changed it.
Nice.
What's the thing? It's always 2 steps ahead. Sam did it first. Sam does it before I'm the world champion, and it's annoying. Like I actually told him, like, please don't do it because it feels wrong. Because like calling me the world champion when I'm not the world champion, like it's like almost disrespectful. I don't.
Sam's gonna have a field day now.
But now
I
he can
thought
do
that
it, and I'm
Jesse
all
was
for him. I
cooked.
want him to be able to advertise me and to grow his own channel as well. Thank you, and
I thought that Jesse was
Don't
cooked.
miss. I don't know why that was so hard for me to read. Thank you so much for the subs. Appreciate it. World champ reacts to former world
I
champ.
thought that Jesse was cooked.
Yeah,
That's
that'll
so mean.
happen. But like,
No, you can't say that though. That's fucking mean.
is
I
it?
thought
I mean, the
that
same
Jesse
shit. I
was
don't know.
cooked.
World champ reacts to world champ. There you go. I'm not.
Yeah,
whatever.
that's much better.
Where's the snow cosplay?
thought that
I told you
Jesse
guys,
was
1,000
cooked.
subs. We're at 219 right now. Yes or no? We're close. I told you it's gonna take a fucking lot for me to dress up as snow. It is. I'm not budging on that goal. 1,000 subs, or I'm not doing it. Like I need to grow the channel properly, like really big, in order for me to want to do that shit like that crazy. But yeah, I want to grow the channel a lot. And Josh really popped off last year, and it's not just because he's a world champion. Obviously, he has plenty of other good qualities that support him in his content creation journey. But I hope that I can also like it definitely helped that he won Worlds. It definitely helped him blow up, and I'm hoping like I can get the same kind of launching pad from here. Like,
Dude,
Wolfie's still
got
spamming it? Exactly, yeah.
I got like 200 Twitter followers. It was all worth it.
Yeah, Ryan says he plays Duelist Cups for no reason other than for Twitter followers and Master Duel followers in game.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "What's your real goal, Ryan, in Master Duel? Not to win Worlds. What is it?"
It's like, I would like to pass Tasku in followers, but I think the chance of that happening is literally lower than winning Worlds.
You just want to
You
have
have to
more
win
followers
every
than
DC Cup.
Dasiku. Fucking madman.
Dude, he's like, I can't. It's not possible.
Every DC Cup, he just keeps growing. You
Guys,
have to beat him every DC Cup.
Okay, there's like 500 of you here right now. Okay, well, let's build it up a little bit. Here, where's Ryan? Profile. You're playing your Raisin now?
Yes.
He has 8,000 followers. He already has like 3,000 more than me, but I don't care if you follow me or not in Master Duel. Follow his Master Duel, though. Not even Master 1.
We need this.
There's the code. I can't copy it for some reason. Go follow him. He needs this.
Alright, I'm gonna go get going. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Good luck with school.
Yep, see ya.
I need to go to.
All right. Catch you guys later. I'll see you on the stream,
Bye.
guys. Au revoir, team. Oh, they're gone now. Cool. Tasco has 19K. Fuck. Josh has 9K. Oh, I thought Ryan had second. All right, Josh has beat him out. I'm at 5,000. I'm not even close, I guess. We don't get check marks either because we're NA. Tasco has 19K. That's literally impossible. We'll see. Ryan will probably surpass Josh pretty soon. Probably. I don't have Josh followed. I don't really follow people in Master Duel because it kind of just doesn't do anything. I have more people followed than I thought. I don't even know who some of these are. Who the fuck is this? I don't know who some of these people even are. And the follow list is just forever. Do I have any blocks? No, I don't have any blocks. How many does Fartfa have? I have no idea. Not a clue. Task collab stream when? The language barrier hurts so much, and I like at least Ryan knows some Japanese to communicate with the Japanese players a bit. I just don't like have that ability at all to interact with the OCG players. And that does kind of hurt. Sam just needs to make a YouTube video asking people to follow you and you can pass Tasaku. Probably. That's probably literally the gimmick. Like, that seems unearned though. Although I guess you can already give me shouting out here is also unearned. I don't watch enough anime. I work so much. How much anime do you expect me to watch? It's a miracle I watched One Piece. Literal miracle. 1,000 gems. Let's burn 1,000 gems real quick. What are we buying with 1,000 gems? Are there any accessories we can buy? Any of the bundles? Already bought those. Let's buy some tier packs. Okay, LS cards a couple days. I'll buy gems. Don't worry, guys. We'll have those cards. But let's try to get some tier shits. Yeah, I want another royal of this. Let's get this. Craft this. Nope, nothing. Okay. And it's this pack. Do you get to use the WPS field? No, you don't. Or at least last year we didn't. Last year we got the icon, the base, the frame, and that's it. The MasterCard quest never fails. I have to load up my account actually ahead of time because it was a massive pain in the ass when I did it back in March. You'd love to see Toski use Sam's wheel. It would be cool. But content with those guys is definitely hard. Maybe I'll try make it work at some point. All right, let's do a quick gamba, guys. How much are we gonna pull? How many ultras are we gonna get? Do some gambas. When you play Snake Eye cards for Curious on the ladder? Probably. When are you coming back to Duel Night? I think Sam might be done with Duel Night. Because he hasn't uploaded in a while, right? I haven't asked him. I haven't talked to him about it because, you know, we always were. I guess we're always looking forward, right? We talk about projects that we're actively like still working on. He hasn't mentioned Duel Night, so I guess I don't know. Magaro also has a YouTube channel. Two. I don't know. He said he was done after 5 these. But we're already in Zexel. We're already in Zexel. That doesn't make sense. Hi Jesse, blah blah. If just want to know, how do you do you plan to do more IRL videos? The nature with insects were amazing. Like what? I don't know which video you're referring to. The vlogs? That's when I travel, like, to unique places. Like, Seattle wouldn't have been good because you can't film in the venue. Like, when you film outside, which is why the vlogs end up being more nature stuff. And if I'm going somewhere and I'm not doing, like, anything outside of the event, like, if all I'm doing is going to the event, then there's nothing to show you guys. There's no filming to do. So, I just can't. I don't have anything planned right now. But, like, I had some like travel destinations I'd like to go to. I'd like to visit the Amazon rainforest. So if I did that, I could do a vlog. Like if I did Wysis Bolivia, I would have done that. Iguazu Falls, the Argentina and Brazilian border would be really cool to go to as well. There's places I'd visit, and then I can make a vlog out of it as well. And like I mix the nature aspects in with the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. But otherwise, like there's not a huge chance of that happening, because otherwise, like, what am I doing there? It's just random places to duel, or random places to film. Was the 2000 UR Desta Worlds prize? No, it was not. We got nothing in the game, really. Bunch of supers. Alright, whatever. Those will go towards Royal Left Arm offerings. Iguazu is ridiculous. Yeah, I think it'll be cool. Here we go. Royal Kalos. Alright. I already have this Royal as well. I pulled it while opening this. I did this off stream because I didn't want to show you guys the deck I was playing. Pretty much whenever I had 1,000 gems, I would just buy 10 packs of the tier pack. And that's how I pulled the Royal Rare Planet and the one Royal Scream. But like pretty much the last 2 months, anytime I had gems, I spent them on this. All right. Come on, Royal. Nope. Does Mass let you vote yourself for the WCS team voting thing? Yeah, it did. So I voted for myself. Was the amount of tier being played surprising to you? No. I thought that the OCG players would play more branded than tier. And there were a fair bit of branded players in the OCG, but there were more tier players from the OCG than I expected. Specifically that. 1,000 URDS is more valuable than those mats. That's not even true. That's definitely not true. Like, don't underplay that unnecessarily. There's a lot of supers. All 4 top 4s were on tier. Yeah, the Korean team also had branded. Those tier decks that the OCG players had, I wasn't a fan of, though. They didn't play Dweller, which I think is, like, actually just criminal. Dweller is so broken. This. Mermail is, like, low-key one of my favorite decks of all time. So, getting that Royal would also be kind of cool. There's a WCUS MB statistic if you're interested. Yep, link it. I'll look at it. This looks like a 1 out of 10, guys. 1 Ultra. Yeah. Royal? 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 Fuck, I got two glossy Teuses. That is so troll. Look, okay. That's so funny. Alright, whatever. 1 Ultra, right? Yeah. Alright. Let me pull this up real quick. Am I going to YCS Lille? Okay, so that's something I'll talk about as well, I guess, real quick. So YCS Lille, I wasn't going to. So I was going to Chile originally, but Chile is really fucking far. And when they announced the 275th being in France, I decided, okay, I'll book France instead. And that was a non-refundable flight, so I booked that. And then they announced the Duels Cup. I'm like, fuck. Worlds is the ambition for me. I want to win Worlds. So I'm gonna cancel. I'm gonna not go to France, and then I'll play the Duels Cup instead if I don't win Worlds. But I couldn't cancel, so it didn't matter. I still had the flight, and then I got an offer in the email from the airline saying if you want to cancel, it's overbooked. You can cancel. And I'm like, oh my god, okay. So I canceled my flight because I thought, okay, I need to play Duels Cup, and then I actually won Worlds, so now I don't need to play it again. And now I'm like, fuck, do I go to Lille? That's like a question I have to ask myself now. So it's expensive now. It went up. Like it's an extra $500 than before. But a lot of my European friends are asking me to go. Because obviously I was planning on going before the Duels Cup got announced. It'd be nice. No promises yet. I'll try and make it work, but it's no promises. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so deck breakdown. Fire King Snake Eye, 150 games played. Wow. So that is, how many games played total? There were a lot, right? So let's take a look. How many games played total? There were, where's the sum? Is it bottom right being blocked by my cup? 546 games. So just under, or just over a third of the game. No. Just under a third. What is it? Yeah, just under a third-ish of the games were with Fire King, Roy de Fuego. So Fire King players rarely switched for good reason. It's the best deck, I think. And you can see it. Let's see how it does, right? So 66 coin flips 1. The win rate of 44%, sure. But a 1 more than a loss, which is important. Win rate of 51%. The issue when it gets this large, you have a lot of mirror matches, and then actually evens out the rating. So decks with lower win rates will have a higher win rate, so don't read too much into it. Win rate when 1 coin is pretty high. I expect it to be higher, to be honest. And then I won a decent bit when I got second. Holy shit, what's this? Voiceless was fucking terrible this weekend. Yeah, Voiceless is ass. We didn't play because we thought it was terrible. Yubel was the next most played, which I expected to be the second best deck. Not by this much, but it was. Coin win rate is a little low. It had a really high win rate, which was surprising. Because I guess people identified the bad matchups. They switched often for the bad matchups, which is within reason. Really high go first win rate, which is, what we expected with Yubel. It's the same in the TCG. I think going second, his win rate's pretty high. That's higher than I expected, truthfully, because sometimes his deck can struggle going second a little bit. Tier 80 games being played. I didn't expect it to be this popular, guys. I didn't realize it was that popular. I expected it to be maybe like 60 games. Branded, I expected to be higher by like a noticeable amount. Coins won, sure. So coin win rate's pretty low, but the deck's fine. The win rate's still very positive. Not very positive. When going first, I expected to be higher as well. I think my win rate is higher for this for sure. I bricked 3 times going first, so I guess maybe it's not that high for this, but I'm not sure. Voiceless or Branded is next. 76 games. I expect it to be around this, little higher maybe. Positive win rate's pretty funny, but I guess that's something that's bound to have a positive win rate at this point. It's solid. It's funny. Win rate is fucking garbage. That's crazy. I expected this actually to be better. I don't think this deck is brilliant, but I do think it's like pretty good. What was the bad match for Yubel? Spell-based decks and trap-based decks. You can't interact with this very well. Tier gets stronger with limited cards. Yeah. Branded when the coin is only 50%. That's low. 25% when a lost in coin. This bad. Well, Brandon really shot the bed. That's a lot worse than I expected. All right. I'm glad I didn't bring it. Or people played it badly, I guess, or built it badly. I don't know. Voiceless. We thought this deck sucked. There was no way we were bringing this deck. I think this deck is not good. I think it is like just straight up like worse than so many other decks. I would rather play Centurion. I would rather play Race. I mean, Race you can't play, I guess. But like, I'd put this in a very low class. It needs to be very targeted for what you play it against. And as a standalone deck, I think it suffers drastically, greatly. 36 games is crazy. I didn't think this was the 5th best deck. I thought Pearly was the fifth best deck, probably. There's a huge drop-off, though. But even in coin flips, win rate, fucking terrible. It was a 50-50 when it went first, and look how bad it is when it goes second. This deck is not good. It's because Bishals are kind of popular in Masters, so Voices and Brandon can get hurt by it. It's the same about Tier, though, and Yubel. Like, both those hit that deck. Pearly, so this is about where I expected it to be. Looks like it's a bit positive in coin rates, like actually pretty heavily positive. Win rate didn't seem great, though. High for going first, which makes sense. Noir's broken. Win rate going second, I guess it's not the worst. I'd expect it to be a bit higher. The win rate going first isn't as high as these two decks. I think Tier should have a higher win rate going first, though. Next up, we got Super Heavy Centurion. Pretty much just Centurion with a small Super Heavy package. There's 14 games played. Coin rate, solid. Really strong win rate. It was just a couple players, right? Maybe it's been just Nakwall even. I lost to this because I punted. Win rate won the coin toss 75%, which is pretty good, right? I think the next big week is the maxi, but with the extra extenders, you're pretty comfortable to most hand traps. This feels like pretty understandable. 50% win rate going second is pretty good, though. I wouldn't have expected that because the biggest problem with these cards is I think they're weak going second. Although the issue is with every stat below, like here and below, the sample size is pretty small, so you have to take everything with a grain of salt. Next up, we got Race. I think this deck is very meh. Coin rate, whatever. Win rates, fine. I mean, it's good. Low sample size. High win rate went first. I mean, both positive. I mean, that's pretty good. Next up is Centurion. This is Emery carrying it pretty drastically, right? Very high win rate for the coin toss. Win rate's not that good, though, surprisingly. Yeah, coin toss win rate's not too huge. It won more when it went second. That's funny, because the 6 card matters, I guess. It's weak to hand traps. This is funny. Labyrinth has played 12 times. Had a hugely good coin toss win rate. Solid win rate. Huge win rate going first and an okay win rate going second. But you see, like... Well, this doesn't make sense. So games 1... Oh, never mind. Yeah, so that's pretty bad. Yeah. Sure, whatever. Runic Stun. This deck is terrible. Win rate's pretty low. That's pretty funny. Deserved. Win rate 12.5%. Eat shit, idiots. Fucking terrible ass deck. It won once when it went first, and that's it. Oh god. Super Heavy Samurai, FTK bullshit. I lost to this. Pretty good win rate, but again, small. Yeah, every time I went first. That's just crazy, though. Like, how did no one draw a hand trap against them? Or Jack didn't have hand traps. I played a deck with hand traps, just didn't draw any. Yeah, that's expected. Shit, win rate going second. Flu. This is pretty solid. It's not bad. Obviously, the win rate, Vanquish Soul, just Ryan and Judeo. Win rate exactly 50. Win rate solid. Every time I went first. Yeah, next pretty good when it goes first, and then win rate goes second is kind of whatever. Sprite. Coin rate 100%, win rate 0. That's just Zio. One of these games is against me, right? So he played it twice and probably never again, and then he just lost both games. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. Fuck. Salad. This is me. Wait, games played 2. Wait, someone else played Salad. I played it once. Who else played Salad? Who else played Salad? You think it's a mistake? Anyways, yeah, win rate 0. I lost the roll. I got FTK'd. That's the one time I played it. Stun. Yep, nice. Coin rate 0%. There's still one. Interesting. Math Mech somebody played and they didn't win. Why even bring these decks? Like, if you want to bring them once and just lose them, they basically say the same with Salad, though. It's Salad with no Pyro Phoenix? No, that card sucks. Player stats. Alright. Alright, Thank Love. Stellar. Total win rates here, so that's not good. Yeah, Stellar had positive, the rest of them did not. Overall, negative win rate. Voiceless Voice shat the bed here. But Telements also didn't do very good here. Stellar, you can see, did well with Super Heavy Samurai, but this did okay with Fire King. Not very good. Didn't win rolls, I guess. Won the rolls more there. This was 67-41 or whatever. The other one of the American teams with Josh and National DB Grinder and Enzo. Their overall win rates, not bad. Wow, Enzo, oof, that was rough, Enzo. Voiceless is fucking ass. I don't know why he played Voiceless. He had Lab and he played it twice, right? That's bad. They never switched off. I think that they wasted their lineup. They just didn't play any of the best decks, which is crazy to me. The fact they went 3-2 is kind of mental. I'll move the face cam. I'm sorry. Let's move it down here. Yeah, that was these are not good. Oof. Okay, well, they still went 3-2 in spite of that. I guess DB Grinder and Josh did pretty solid. Voiceless isn't good in the TCG. I don't know why Enzo played Voiceless. Whatever. Brazil. You want Dex to lose to Maxi? We need to actually win the game though. The Nino Sweep helped a lot. It did. Yeah. Brazil. So Judeo, Reich, and Mateus. Yeah, so their lineup is somewhat similar to ours. I think what's this fucking blows. But yeah, they have these two, and then the Brandon set a tier. Win game percentage. Brandon kind of struggled there. Yeah, you can see why. The deck stats. He did a bit better with Voiceless, which is surprising. Yeah, I think Reich threw one of the games and he was upset about that. The Judeo did pretty good with Vanquish Soul. Yeah, 3-1. The stats, the Judeo did pretty well. Reich did a bit positive, but it was a bit rough for Mateus. Yeah, great. CER. This is the top 4 team. With, okay, let me scroll down a bit. So Greed, Subduck, Knackwall. So they should freeze this. God, which columns? The first column is the win percentage. CR. Okay. So 53% and 40% with tier. They had bad win rate with tier. I didn't like his tier deck list. That makes sense. He also didn't even play it that much. Ubel 50%, sure. And then he was positive with branded. Okay, so he actually did well with branded Subaduk. And then Knockwall and his Centurion deck did pretty good. Ring Stun shot the bed. Probably shouldn't have played it. Solid win rates, positive all around. Or even and then positive. And then the second team, CER. They played Fire King Bell branded, which I expected from a lot of OCG teams. Fire King, okay, branded just struggled here. That's rough. Branded just shut the bed this tournament. On's only won 3 coin flips. Where does it say that? Because he won 2 in the finals at the very least. Coin wins with the coins, yeah. 7. I don't know what you're talking about. 3. Anyways, so yeah, on this though. So and then yeah, Tiras. Oh, that's probably the lowest in the whole tournament. T28. That's rough. They're known for duel links as well because they've like qualified for multiple different channels. That's I'm sure they are not happy with that. It brings down the team, but negative on Sana as well is also not great. Exo I think was a terrible choice, but I mean it doesn't matter that much. The second deck being Fire King Snake Eye means this doesn't matter that much. Yubel Tier I think is kind of random, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah. Snipe Hunters, Josh's team obviously. So the coin win rates, like how bad Josh's coin win rate is. Josh kept losing the roll. That's pretty bad. That's fucking awful. 23. Damn, they made the finals. Their win rates were not great. Although you can argue the sweep in the finals may have hurt their win rate a lot. But Emery's was really good. Emery's was crazy in day 1. Day 2, it wasn't great though. And these guys picked up a little bit of the slack on the top 4. But this number's actually pretty poor, all things considered. How does Emery's coin tosses like? Emery's coin wins aren't even like they're positive. He got lucky in that sense, but like not ridiculously positive in the same way that like this is ridiculously negative. Like not as much as this. Like, this is fucking brutal. Quantal just got destroyed. Voiceless. Sure. Next up is the Singapore team. Oh my god. I lost to this guy because I drew shit. Unless I might be one of his only wins then. That's ass. 23% is rough. Damn, that's crazy because these other 2 guys didn't even do bad. But they went 2-3 overall. 70 is that a 70% win rate? That's insane. We were annoyed because he did the combos wrong as well, the Fire King combos, when we played against them. But his win rate was ridiculous. And this other player with the Yubel and Tier was honestly just fine. That's bad. And the toss rate. This is crazy. Yeah, we played them round 2. We lost the first 6 rolls. And then in the last round, we won 2 of them. Me and Ray won the roll. And we both bricked and passed. Both of us. That's crazy. All right, next up, we got the other American team. Coin win rates here. 25% win rate. Oh, that's ass. Oh, God. Wow, these coin flips are not great. Not a single one of them is positive. Win rates are, Fetty's is not great. And his win rates are probably the best as well. Yeah. Cam and G were able to put in more work, but obviously, like, this is not fantastic. They were fighting an uphill battle. This is bad. That's really bad. They made fun of an Asian forms for losing despite winning the coins. Oh yeah, well, don't blame them. What did Jack say? What percentage of world was terrible? Oh my god, yeah, doesn't seem great. Me and Ray were tied. That's cool. Look at that. Rogue Rulers. The Sprite deck. I'm sorry, this deck was not a good choice. He stopped playing it clearly. Voiceless shouldn't have played voiceless. Should have mained branded. He's good with branded too. I don't know why he did that. This is pretty bad win rate though. Neither deck was doing him justice. This isn't great. This is obviously not good either. Ben with Snake Eye doing so poorly is kind of rough. His win rate for coin tosses is not good, but it's not awful. This is obviously not fantastic either. Oh, I ended up positive with coin flips in the end. I guess so. Is this? Oh, it doesn't count the auto wins, right? Because this would imply I played 18 games, which I played 21 if you don't count the buys. So I guess 18 games, 3 buys. We swept 3 times. Yeah, it counts. Okay, doesn't count the buys. Okay. The buys being when you sweep a team and get 3 extra wins. How are my stats? My coin tosses ended up positive, right? But I pretty positive win rate overall with the deck. So slightly positive win rate. Ryan's was terrible as well. Ray's was slightly negative. Ray won every single pearly die roll. I didn't know that. That's pretty good. And he won 1, and then our win rates were good. Like our win rates were good. I threw around. I should have been tied with Ryan. But yeah, I punted. It's not accurate. You lost the roll to Emery. Oh, yeah, it must not be accurate, actually. You for sure lost the roll to Emery. You threw like 4 games. Tier is so hard. Yeah, these stats might just not be correct, so grain of salt, because there may be misreports here. Hero's Future. Oh, wow, Gyokuro had a... I think it's his name. I can't read the name, but that win rate's crazy. Is that the best in the tournament? I didn't expect that, because he played Labyrinth and Yubel. That's... People were hyping up Tasaku and Maguro. His was the best. And look at... Oh, okay, someone froze this. They listened to my suggestion. This is crazy. He fucking cooked. He carried. He definitely MVP. Highest win rate with a low coin toss. This was 2 games only, whatever, but he cooked. Maguro, I think, punted against me when I played him. Win rate's still good, though. These are both good win rates. But this is nice. This is, I think, the best in the whole tournament. And then Double Noir, all negative. That's pretty rough. Branded Chet the bet again. Low win rate, though, I guess. That's accurate. Whatever, FTK bullshit. This is not be happening with Fire King. He lost to both me and Ray because his deck, I think their deck was built improperly. Runic Shat the bed. Never switched off Fire King. Yeah. Maguro didn't want to go because he doesn't think he's great, but Task kind of made him. That's kind of nice. Watch this funny Nesh commentary. Am I going to get a DMCA for this? You have to get it a few times? You know, I have to get more than once? What do you... What?
Let the man talk. Let the man talk. Let me see.
Oh, we have nothing to lose. We're gonna try our very best. If
Name is Paul Savage, right? Thank you, Nesh.
they win, they also very much deserve it, as much as they deserved it last year. And
Oh, why it's going for this political speech? I hate political speech. Just say that you're gonna shit on them. Just say that you're gonna defecate on them. Just stop with this political shit. The best is gonna win. Oh, with the friends we made along the way. Oh my God, they are so good at the game. I hope they win too. We have nothing to lose. You say you have to be confident. You need to say that you're gonna shit on them. Where is the fight? Where is the emotion?
And that's why Nesh, that's why Nesh is sitting there. I love Nesh. If you guys didn't see my tweet earlier today in a chat with Nesh, he posted something pretty funny. This is awesome. This quote. Dude, he's so funny. What was the context of this? It was like, Nesh, you should have known this or something. We were pretty much just telling him he should have seen something coming. And then he's like, I can't read the future, blah, 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 blah. I mean, last time I checked my testicles, I didn't have a crystal ball there. I'm not trying to do it in a Nesh impression, but fuck Nesh. This is hilarious. Nesh world would be so entertaining. I feel like he'd get himself banned and say something stupid. Or he'd smoke in the venue, set off the fire alarm, and then get banned. Okay, so did they change? No, they didn't change this yet. Oh, they did change this 67%. Okay, here you go. I feel like I went negative in coin tosses, but maybe it ended up being better at the end of the day. There's no way I was positive in coin tosses. We'll go through it tomorrow. I feel like it wasn't, but whatever. I think these are day 1 stats. They're not. I feel like there's no way I was positive. There's also the one Pearly game you bricked. So your win rate should not be 100%, right? Yeah, okay, I think these stats might just be wrong, guys. As cool as this is to look at, I think there's just mistakes here. Q7 and Snipe Hunters played 20 games. 21 games. I mean, oh, he may have counted it as Ubel. You're here. I mean, like, I'm not sure what. It's hard to keep track of everything. You're a psychopath for wanting to do this, by the way, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, you probably just have to go over and double check everything. What do you think was wrong with the Fire King deck by KG's team? Just curious. Let's go over the deck lists. Were there any other stats to look at? Matchup spread. Tier should have been positive probably in this matchup. Should have been positive here. Positive to Branded. Positive. 100% into Sprite. Interesting. All the dual logs are here. Yeah. You just realized no one plays Cash. Yeah, Cash is pretty bad. All right, let's look at the decks. I'm sorry, I'm being silent. Let's put the music back on. Okay. So their decks. Where's KG's team? I think the CER team had the same mistake in the deck building for Fire King. Spogan, KG, and Fire King. So, Emra, please. I don't even. What do you want me to go over with Emery? Okay, so take a look here. If you get Maxied in this deck, or so if you're playing this deck and you Maxi your opponent, and you already made your board, but you can break through it, what do you do? Or like, your opponent is OTKs, you can't do anything to stop it. The only hand trap you have is Ash, because you can't use Imperm. This doesn't work either. That's probably why Gambit wasn't in our Fire King deck. And there's the same problem with the Korean team in top 4. The who played it was Greed. Their Fire King deck. We played this guy in round 5. Both me and Ray went second. Both got Maxied and both OTK'd him. Because we knew there was just nothing you could do about it. And when you know shit's going to be open format, you can say the decklists weren't going to be leaked. I don't care. People wouldn't know each other's decklist by round 5. That's a given. That's going to happen even if there's no leaking. Like, that's where having like Ryan's decklist helps so much. If you want to go for game against him, it's fucking risky. Same with Ray. Both of those, like both these decks, they're built intentionally to be like this. You have to be ballsy to go for game against either of these decks, because you probably will not get there. And if you give these decks a turn, because you have to pass with Maxi, you probably die. So it makes Maxi an auto win, or Maxi isn't an auto win in those decks. Which I think, and like the trade off is having to play to mix up your Imprims and Veilers in your deck, like with somebody else. And I think that's just so worth it. So yeah. Your favorite was Stellar's Fire King deck? He was a different group than us, so I don't think I ever looked at it even. Judeo said, I'm actually mad at you. Well, I know you guys are beefing right now, but I mean, there's not a better source for info, so. Okay. Near the top. CER agreed. Silverduck not qual. Here's future. Max Yi. Sana. RJ. Sirius. Enzo. Wait, did I miss it? Here it is. Here it is. Stellar's deck, same problem. It has the same problem. I think this is just wrong. What the fuck he's playing Singularity for? This, yeah, I don't know why he plays this. Why does he play this? Does anybody know? Anybody have an idea? Firewall is bigger than ever. What the fuck does that mean? Look at Reichs. Brazil was below it, right? Brazil. Raphael. Yeah, you can see it. I don't know if you need the 3-1. I mean, also, there's a cross on this deck, okay, but he has better spread of hand traps, which I think is important. Kieran is broken. I would not play one Kieran. Rest is fine. Sure. I would not play one Kieran. What was Josh's Fire King deck like? I don't remember. I mean, I studied it, but like it's all kind of a blur. Yeah, he had a Veiler, right? Yeah. Yeah, because he's playing cross out, so like he does have these cards. He has Veiler Nib. Right? And it means like you get Maxi, at least you are fine. And Emery, like if he resolves a Maxi in this deck, he's also fine because he can stay alive. Right? It's a big thing with what makes Maxi kind of broken. You just can't push through it. I do think he should play 3 Kieran though. And link the Excel statistics sheet? Sure. What are the rewards for guessing right? We haven't got them yet. Someone said we'll get them, or Ray said we'll probably get them after maintenance. Switch back to Master Duel, I guess. What are the? I don't even remember what the rewards are. A chance to get 2,000 gems. Yeah, I know. One legacy pack royal finish. Gross. You think Cash Unicorn should have been played more in this? No. The chance for 2K is troll as shit. It is very troll. Watch I win it. Watch I just win my own thing and I get the gems. That'd be funny. I hope the royal rare that I get is card destruction though. For obvious reasons, guys. A royal card destruction would be broken. I think I have some legacy packs you can open real quick. I'm gonna give everyone who voted for Team 7 $10. No, I will not do that. I appreciate your support, but no, I will not do that. Nice. What a good card. End of the line. Does not do anything. Fine, it's fine. 6 more packs, 6 more packs. We'll get, surely we'll get a royal card destruction, 6 packs. Damn. Congrats on the world win. Thank you so much, guys. If you get a Royal Immortal Phoenix gear free, do you pop off? I'm pretty sure I did do that. I pulled that in a pack recently. Let me check my Royals. Because you guys haven't seen my Royals lately. Because I haven't been playing on stream. I've been playing off stream. Let me show you some of the Royals that I've gotten lately while I've just been dueling. Because I've been playing a lot of fucking Master Duel. What are the new ones? Yeah, I got a Royal Gear Freed for my legacy pack. But yeah, I was testing for Worlds. I couldn't do it on stream. I couldn't show you guys I was playing Salamander Great in a 60 card tier. World Champion, not even Master 1. I was in Cancun. It reset in September while I was in Cancun. What did you want me to do? I was playing on my phone. I went from Diamond 5 to Diamond 2, but I couldn't do more. What else did I get? I already had these. I got this. That was cool. I don't play voiceless, but I just pulled this. You guys were here for this. I pulled this. I told you guys about already. I pulled this for a video a while ago. I already had all those. This was crazy. I wish I was streaming for this. I crafted 3 cards, and I got 3 royals. Absolutely fucking crazy. Sort obtained order. I could do that. You're right. No, first ever royal. So crazy. First, like right at the start of the game came out, I pulled that. Fucking broken. Huh? This isn't accurate. I know for a fact it's not accurate. Because I did not recently pull Roy Rush Snow. This just isn't even accurate. It counts cards you pulled as non-royal. Oh, okay, that's why. Yeah, I'm about to say, this does not look accurate. Like, not at all. What do you mean you can't sort by anything else? Do you have more fun playing Master Duel or TCG? Honestly, TCG. But I prefer the Master Duel format right now, not the TCG format. But then also, World specifically because it's a 3v3, I prefer Master Duel. If TCG was a 3v3, and the format wasn't what it is this year, it would be TCG preferred. But given I prefer the Master Duel format right now, and that it's a 3v3, Master Duel clears. But historically, TCG is my preferred game. I love shuffling cards. You got Scantier, you got a deck of cards. I'm always shuffling. It's like a Sacred Beast structure deck. Well, crusty sleeves. I've been shuffling it on my desk for the last 6 years. Are you a fan of the shared card pool rule set? I am. I think it leads for interesting deck building, and I feel like our team had good decks. I feel like the teams that did well, not I guess not all of them. I feel like the Korean team didn't have the best decks, but a lot of the teams that did well, the decks building like played a huge part in it. I feel like the Yubel deck is very cool. The Subdex Yubel deck actually. I don't like this lineup. This overperformed, I guess, but I'm not a huge fan. And I didn't like the Fire King deck either. I felt like Subdeck had a good lineup. The shared pool is better for the viewer. I think the stream setup is better for the viewer. The fact you can watch dual live is better for the viewer. The fact that the better players are always qualifying is better for the viewer. And the shared card pool makes it better for the viewer as well, because it's not just all Fire King mirrors. Because otherwise you probably would have like a lot of just Fire King mirrors. Like I probably would have played Fire King. Is there anything you change in your list for hindsight? No, I liked my list. I don't think there's anything I'd change. So much you are dust? 1,380 dust. Is mine the most expensive? Well, 1080 is a lot. 930, 1380. Let's take a look. How bricky is it? It's not that bricky. Contrary to what you might think. 1110. I think mine might be the most expensive. 1,200, close. Nothing here. 1,200 for branded. They're all poor compared to my tier deck. I am a whale. Is AFD playable in this? Not really. If you want to play level 7 Synchro, it's either Shooting Rise or Dragon. Ooh, this is the closest. Or it's Deep Sea Prima Donna. AFD is probably the worst. Probably the third best, but worst out of those. Black Rose is also considerable, but I don't think Black Rose is real. Although I know Tasuku played it, I think, right? Or somebody played it that we played against. Snake Eye Fire King 1140, right? Still not enough. That's it. I have the most expensive deck. I am the richest. Would you want Snake Eye over Horse, or do you just use both? You play both. You play a smaller Horse package. Like you probably not play 3 King Sarks, like 2 King Sarks and 1 to the field spell, and that's it. So you give yourself a little space. You'd also cut the Sea Mare for sure, because you'd have 1 normal summons in the deck. In fact, you could arguably cut one of the Rhino Hearts even. Grief gets worse as well, becomes a 1 of. You have less ways to combo it. The deck changes a bit. The cash cards are good with that because Planet's obviously broken. The deck doesn't stay the same. It does change. You probably change these two. Why do you think Tier is so good in this format? Lack of hand traps? No, I just think it's a good deck. Tier is a good deck. What do you want the Snake Engine to 60 tier? We went over this enough times, so yeah. Still 3 Trivias and Bridges. Probably because you just use them with Witch. So you're replacing the discard outlets with more discard outlets, right? Like, you want to make sure you still have a constant flow of ways to discard the Trivia Karmas and Bridge, otherwise your deck is not going to work. Because, like, Witch discard Bridge is... Like, I do it on my Crystal Beast deck all the time. It's... Oh, it's fucking broken. Even more so on the Crystal Beast deck, probably, because you just could add Sapphire Pegasus too, but that shit is crazy. You don't have space in extra deck for Distrito, probably, in the Snake Eye version, because you need more links. So yeah, you probably take out like this, and this as well. Make space for Oak, Poplar, and Ash. Greed played Black Rose? Okay, it was Greed, not Tasuku? Okay. I know one of them did. I know somebody we played did. Yeah. Everyone is playing this, apparently. It's not a card I've even thought of, but like, I don't know why I'd want this. I can't imagine this being better than Zoroboros. No one plays Zoroboros anymore, but this card is fucking broken. This is my man's. Zoroboros is the GOAT. I only summoned it once, I think, but this card is insane. Oh, you can't see my screen? I went back to the deck list. All right, it doesn't matter. I'm not going in there anyways. I'll just stay on my on Master Duel. Should I always release the Feats of Engine, unban Merly? No. We can stop. I have a favorite duel. Who's your MVP card? MVP card's always going to be Fairy Tale Snow in this deck. Favorite duel? I don't know if I have a favorite duel. I don't think I do. Maybe the game where I decked out. The games where I played through the full field are always going to be the best ones. There's a dedicated Japanese Yugi tuber for the tier 60 gas deck. Metakuzu is a friend of KG. I know there are some Japanese players who've played this type of deck before. Magu versus Quanto was phenomenal. I haven't watched them in any other games. We can do that another time. Thoughts on Tier Tri Brigade? You're overcooking, bro. You're burning your food. You don't need to do that. No need to mix those together. Maintenance notice. That's tonight, right? That's tomorrow. Never mind. Tomorrow night. New item preparation. New gates. And is this when the new pack gets put in? I think Voice is just not a good deck. It's just straight up not a good deck. This comes in September 11th. Okay, so that's Thursday. Thursday we'll have a good stream then. Thursday we'll do that. Okay, guys, I think I'm just gonna call it for now, unless we have anything to go over. Tomorrow we'll do a secondary recap of Worlds. We won't talk about the decks because I feel like we went over that a lot. What we'll do is we'll go over and review all of our games. I'll also talk about the experience as a whole. So I'll walk you through the chronologically the timeline we had at the event, and we can always do other stuff as well. And then Thursday we'll get into the new pack. I will be streaming a lot more now, guys. I'm home. I'm hoping I can get back into the streaming schedule, really grow the channel with the title of World Champion. So I hope you all enjoy it, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. It'll be the nooner one. I have to figure out what I want to do with my new schedule. The upside of doing it at noon is I go live an hour after Josh goes off, so I get the end of Josh's stream. But it's also a bit earlier than maybe I'd want to do, so maybe I go back to 1. It's no cost by next week, right? You get me to 1,000 subs, and sure. But until then, no. Anyways, that's all for now, guys. I'm gonna send you out. What do I send you out to? You know, we started this off with Hero Comes Back. I know how to end this off. Is this one right? Can't read the name. There you go.
I thought that Jesse was cooked.